What is going on, everybody?
What's up, y'all?
Good morning, good
What's going
evening,
on?
good afternoon.
Yeah, wherever you may be. Big world of ours. How's it going? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Thank you for joining.
Playoffs, right? We have
Playoffs
officially
for
reached.
some.
Well, like I guess what I'm insinuating is it started for maybe some. It's upon us for most others.
Yeah, the
This
people with,
for most leagues.
The people who have already lost out, we might not see in the streams too much going for the next few weeks.
Well,
You never know. We hope to.
yeah, we hope you stop by all the same, but if not, it's understanding. But for many, the playoffs probably start next week. So we've got some crucial crunch time, win or go home situations this week.
Hopefully
So-
you've already clinched, and hopefully we helped you get there. But yeah, what's going on,
But
Chosen Rose?
This is crunch time. What's going on?
Chosen with all the questions. What's going on?
We can try to help out with this.
Yes, sir. We start off with some defense questions. Arizona defense or Bengals defense?
Arizona is the better defense, the better unit. I guess Cincinnati's got a little bit better of a matchup just because would you rather face, for fantasy purposes, the Rams offense or the 49ers offense? The Rams obviously have more upside. I give a slight edge probably to Cincinnati, just because it's a West Coast team. It's a West Coast team coming east to play an early game. And like that's an intangible that's enough of a factor for me. Arizona's the better unit, but
I mean,
this is a tough matchup for them.
It's a tough matchup for them, but Matt Stafford is not 100% healthy. Some of the other pieces in this offense aren't 100% healthy or aren't fully
Darrell
integrated.
Henderson's on the COVID list,
and Odell isn't fully integrated into this offense. He's just not. He's had 2 touchdowns since coming in, but I was expecting more from him. But yeah, I guess I'd go Bengals. I go Bengals here because the 49ers will probably be without Deebo Samuel.
That's
we don't
true.
have any definitive knowledge on that.
Definitely
yet.
out.
Right
They're
now,
definitely down Elijah Mitchell.
The last thing they said about him publicly was that he might play. He has a chance to play. Was the exact quote. So we might see Deebo, but
less than 100% probably. Yeah, I would say Cincinnati.
So I would say Cincinnati. They have a better matchup against the Niners.
Yeah.
And let me see what these defenses. Let me take a look at what these defenses are facing moving forward.
While you
that
do
might play
that,
into the decision there too. But for this week, Bengals.
Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincinnati. For the wide receivers, I feel like Judy has to be in. I feel like Judy has to be in a great matchup. There's nothing scary
MVS
at home
Judy.
against the Lions.
I'd be going MVS and Judy.
I think I would too. I like MVS's upside. He's obviously attached to the much better quarterback, much better offense at home, and Randall Cobb is out indefinitely. So 19 targets in his 2 games combined before the bye week. I like his chances for as a deep shot for some, or he's a deep threat. He's the Packers' deep threat, but sneaky shot for some volume. Judy and MVS. I don't trust Russell Gage. I just don't. I don't know. I know he got it done last week, but on a week-to-week basis, I just don't trust him.
I'm with you. The Bengals play Las Vegas and then LA Chargers.
Oh, so they're not necessarily. Oh, you're talking about are they?
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks after this.
I thought they already played Vegas. They just played Vegas and LA. Did you look back? I think you looked back, not forward. They just played those 2 teams. while you do that, Zeke or Sony Michel, I mean, I think you still have to.
Denver and Baltimore.
Denver's not awful. Baltimore, I would try to avoid. But anyway, for this week, Cincinnati.
Arizona plays Detroit and then Indianapolis.
Well, you want Arizona next week. We got to win this week first, most likely. So Cincinnati
Bengals,
this week, Arizona.
Then Arizona next week.
And then we're not worried about it after that.
Right.
Zeke or Sony Michel. I mean, I think you still have to go. You have to go Zeke.
I mean, Pollard shouldn't be playing this week. So I know that.
Well,
Sony
what's
Michel
the latest on him? He was reportedly going to try to play through it.
He's not going to be playing this week.
You think okay. I haven't actually officially questionable. He hasn't practiced all this week. Yeah, so wrong side of questionable.
Exactly.
So it's got to be Zeke. I know Sony Michel is probably going to, Darrell Henderson's on the COVID list, so Sony Michel is an instant plug and play, but not over Zeke.
Sony Michel's healthier. Zeke hasn't shown much juice the past few weeks.
He looks like he's running in mud, but he's going to get tons of volume, and he's going to get goal line work.
And he's gotten a ton of pass catching work the past few weeks as well.
Yeah, so yeah, it's got to be Zeke. As far as the kickers,
question for you. Yep.
Well, I mean, there's kind of an obvious one here for me a little bit. It's Tyler Bass. I know he was awful last week, but there were very specific reasons why he was awful last week. The weather was as expected. It was one of the
worst weather games we've seen all season.
Yeah, the wind was a major factor, which I said to look out for last week. But I'm willing to go back to Bass. I think the Bills are a good enough offense to move the ball against the Bucs and that secondary. I think they will have scoring opportunities.
I think we'll see a lot of points in that game, and that's something.
So I'm willing to go Bass.
To points that you have said earlier in the season about kickers. I am learning some stuff. When you're talking about
there
kickers.
You go.
Chase points in the whole in the game, and you'll usually come away happy with your kicker choice. So yeah, I'm going Tyler Bass. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Chosen Rose. Appreciate you being in here. Appreciate the questions. If you have any more, let us know. Robert Mitchell, what's going on? He says I'm 8-5
What's up, Robert?
In fifth, tied with fourth place. Elijah Moore down. Flex PPR.
Okay.
Elijah Penny, Josh Reynolds, Nick Westbrook-Akine, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kyle Pitts.
And Pitts. Oof. Pitts has been shut down pretty consistently this year, so I understand the hesitancy to want to.
I think I'm either going Josh Reynolds, who should be the number one wide receiver for the.
I like Reynolds.
Without T.J. Hawkinson, without Jamal Williams, without DeAndre Swift, so he gets.
Josh Reynolds might see 10 targets tomorrow.
Donovan Peoples-Jones in a game where he might be the only wide. I mean.
I don't trust Baker Mayfield.
If I'm picking one, I'm choosing Josh Reynolds.
If it's only one, and it's full PPR, I agree with that. I know
Julio Jones is coming back, but I'm not put off by that.
No, not at all.
I'm thinking wrong offense.
Unless you were referring to Nick Westbrook-Akine, in which case you weren't. But Josh Reynolds, but still no Hawkinson, no Swift. I'm good with that. I understand. Rashad Penny got 10 touches last week, and he got out of the game unscathed. He didn't get hurt.
I'm not chasing Rashad Penny.
For real, happy for Rashad Penny. That's a win for him. But I'm not chasing that, even with Adrian Peterson not going to play. It's a phenomenal matchup too. Houston gives up tons of points to running backs. It's not a situation. I can't be pushed to play Penny.
I know Josh Reynolds,
with Reynolds
St. Brown. Amon-Ra I believe he had a touchdown last game.
He did.
I'm still going Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I'll go Reynolds.
He should be the number one in that offense, especially without T.J. Hawkinson there, and without they're going to be relying on some lesser known running backs for sure, and for the game on Sunday. So.
By the way, I don't see the chat showing up.
Is it not showing up in the?
I don't see the chat showing up.
All right. Well, thank you, Robert Mitchell. If you have any more questions for us, let us know. But yeah, I would go Josh Reynolds and so would Nick. But 8-5. Yeah, let's hope you get to 9-5. Mr. Heinen, what's going on? PPR pick 2, Ayuk, Judy, and Julio.
The first two.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to trust Julio. We gotta see it. We gotta see it.
I don't trust Julio at this point. And
Let me fix the chat. No.
Yeah, you get the chat popped up.
You'll get to LeBron's brain's next question. There.
LeBron's
brain. I like the name.
What's going on,
bro?
What's going on? Yeah. Well, John will get the chat showing up here shortly. But this question is pick 3 between Sony Michel, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Antonio Gibson, and Chuba Hubbard. Gibson for sure. And I'm inclined to say Clyde for sure. In a good matchup against Vegas. Yeah, the Raiders are a favorable matchup for running backs. It's between Sony and Chuba Hubbard. Chuba's in a great matchup, but is in the worst offense. Sony's in the better offense, but by the numbers, it's one of the worst matchups. Arizona doesn't give up too many points to running backs. So it's not a great spot for Sony Michel. The Falcons, I think they're a more favorable matchup. Here's where I stand on this. LeBron's brain. I mean, I'm kind of repeat what I already said, but Sony Michel is the player in the better offense, worse matchup. Chuba Hubbard is in the more favorable matchup, but I feel like he's riskier because he's in the worst offense. Carolina is not an offense that we can all the way trust yet after the Week 12 debacle in Miami. So that's very much up in the air as far as like, can Chuba deliver given the volatile state of the offense?
Well, even so, I mean, you have to worry about Amir Abdullah there, who is getting work even with Christian McCaffrey.
That's another thing.
And so that's a knock against Hubbard, because I think if Amir Abdullah is carving out work with Christian McCaffrey healthy, I think I'm going Sony. I can't be trusting Hubbard this week. I really can't.
I think I'm saying Sony over
CEH,
Chuba.
And Gibson would be my picks.
Yeah, the first 3. I'm going to say Sony.
And the chat still ain't showing up.
I still don't see it. What's going on?
I took it out completely.
Sorry, guys.
And put it back in.
We're having some technical issues with the chat. We're trying to get it to actually show up. Anyway,
hey, can you guys help us out by throwing something in the chat to see if it'll come up?
we're getting questions.
Yeah,
we're getting questions. So
I need a new thing in the chat for it to start registering on the new
okay
thing in the screen. That's what I'm saying. Just throw some gibberish into the chat, but let's keep getting to these questions. Yeah, LeBron's brain, Gallup or Julio? I'm going Gallup. I'm going Gallup. I gotta see it from Julio.
Can't trust Julio.
Yep.
Red flag injury risk at this point. And Mr. Heinen's situation is you're the underdog. Julio doesn't feel like a ceiling swing for the fences play for me. He feels like a major risk. At this stage in his career, in the role that he's in this career, in this offense, where they might be just running the Jags into submission by halftime, just like Dontrell Hilliard, Donta Foreman.
Jeremy McNichols.
Yeah.
He is healthy again. He's back.
He is. So. Yeah, he's healthy, but I don't know if he's needed this week. They're just
just the fact that now
Tennessee's 8.5 point favorites.
Now they have 2 running backs who can catch passes, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
So that takes away a little bit more upside from Julio as well.
I just don't trust Julio. Ayuk and Judy are safer.
Yeah, and Julio's reached Kenny Golladay levels for me, where I'm highly
volatile.
I'm
We're
so
waiting
worried he's
for
going to
the
get injured.
Not that we want it,
game, that I can't feel comfortable playing Julio Jones, and I have him in leagues, and I know he just got taken off of IR, and he should be good to go. And certain places are saying that he should be a wide receiver 3 this week. Show it to me first. Show it to me first.
Yeah, I
make
can't.
it through a game unscathed, and then maybe I will buy into you next week or something. Even though if you're relying on Julio Jones in the fantasy playoffs, I don't know.
I can't play Julio.
Yeah,
I'm
going with Judy.
Can't do it. Judy and Ayuk, for sure.
Kyle Nohe, what's going on, man?
So I know
You need a RB2 and half PPR options are Donta Foreman, Hilliard, Edmonds,
and Michelle. Oh, it's Sony.
If you can get Michelle.
It's Sony. Kano. Darrell Henderson's on the COVID list.
If you can get Michelle,
of those options, it's Sony. It's Sony. Yeah. Of those options, it's Sony.
Don't hold until Monday. Go and get Michelle.
Yeah. He has him. He was thinking Edmonds over him. No, with Darrell Henderson out, it
doesn't matter what happens with
Michelle.
Edmonds with how good James Conner has been. It doesn't matter if you got Sony Michelle taking a full workload. I'm going Sony Michelle.
It's Sony Michelle, right? Because the first two are cannibalizing each other, and then Edmonds is gonna eat into whatever Connor does. Michelle, there's nobody.
And even when they were both healthy, Connor and Edmonds, Connor was kind of the better back. Connor was still getting the touchdowns when Chase Edmonds was healthy. It's just his role has grown more now that Edmonds has been out. But I mean, he was still a borderline RB1 with Chase Edmonds in the game. So how much work does Chase Edmonds get when he comes back? Even so. So yeah, we're both going Michelle there, man. But good job picking up Michelle in the first place, or having Michelle on your bench in the first place.
Smart stash.
Yes, sir.
Smart stash.
Robert Mitchell, I'm glad that we could help you out.
Oh.
Who do we help you?
Yeah, happy. I mean, that's what we want to hear.
What was
Getting
the question?
wins this
what
time
was
of
the
year.
question, or the people you were debating between last week that we helped you out with? Joe Harris, what's going on? Good evening. Full PPR. And you have to win this week. All right, you're 7-6.
This is what we're talking about. These must-win games.
We got to pick 3 players to start: Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, Hunter Renfrow, Van Jefferson, Sony Michelle.
Sony, first of all. Can you trust the Chargers? Can you trust
all stream? We're saying go Sony.
And can you trust the Chargers or pick up? First of all, yes, you can trust the Chargers. They're playing the Giants. End of discussion. You can trust any defense.
You got something on your camera, right?
I got something on my camera?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean my lights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
nice.
I didn't know if that was purposeful. All right.
Yeah. Is that, you like them?
They're beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes, you could trust the Chargers against the Giants, against Mike Glennon or Jake from State Farm. They're still down Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard. They might get back, but you can trust the Chargers.
But did we pick 3 for him?
Sony for sure. I think I'm on this group. I would go Cooper and Renfrow. Because without Darren Waller, I think makes a lot of sense. He might be a target hog.
I get being all the way
against the
DJ
Kansas City
Moore.
Chiefs.
It sucks because I know the talent is there, but yeah, you can't trust.
But I don't trust that Carolina. I don't trust the offense.
Yeah.
I don't trust the offense. I would play Van Jefferson over DJ Moore.
Oof.
But I would play Amari Cooper over Van Jefferson.
But yeah,
I think DJ Moore is the
Cooper, Renfrow, and Sony. Yeah, that's the smart way to go.
Yeah, Cooper, Renfrow, Sony. Cooper is frustrating, but has the talent to deliver wide receiver 1 performances in any given week. Renfrow should be a target hog.
He's one of the steadiest floor wide receivers.
Should be a target hog.
Yeah.
And then Sony Michelle without Darrell Henderson is that you got to pencil him in as a low end RB1.
Unless you're in a situation like Nick is this week in a keeper league that I'm in with him, where he has, I believe it's Kamara, Nick Chubb, and who else?
And Antonio Gibson.
There you go. So yeah, in that situation,
Trades and keepers.
In that situation, you can't play Sony, but in pretty much any
No.
other situation, you can play Sony.
This chat is still not working, I don't think.
All right, I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna fix that for the next time we're live streaming tomorrow. We'll fix it by tomorrow. But I'm gonna move to this and see if I can fix how this looks.
Yeah, if I know this has happened before, but you've been able to fix it like during the stream. I don't know if you have the opportunity or if you have the ability to do that.
No, this is gonna take too long to do. You guys, yeah. Let me. All right, answer the next 2 questions. Let me see if I can
I'm gonna look at
figure
the.
this
I'm gonna
out.
look
Sorry,
at
guys.
the. Look at the next couple questions. Yeah, we apologize. We're having some. That's definitely new. I'm in 2 different places now. We're having some technical difficulties. We're trying to sort this out, so bear with us. In the meantime, to hopefully distract from this even a little bit, there's a quarterback question between Burrow and Stafford. Stafford had a good week last week, but it's a division game against the Cardinals. Cardinals are pretty strong against quarterbacks from a fantasy perspective. The 49ers aren't a spectacular matchup for Joe Burrow, but it's a better matchup by the numbers, and he is at home. I think I would go Burrow, big dummy. And nice to see. I haven't seen you for a little while. I don't think, or if I haven't, I apologize. I think I would go Burrow. The Arizona Cardinals present one of the worst matchups for opposing quarterbacks in the NFL. That's enough to like downgrade Stafford a little bit for me. So I think Burrow this week is a slightly more attractive option. If T. Higgins doesn't, I think T. Higgins is expected play, but he is questionable coming into the game. If T. Higgins were to miss, that might be enough for me to put Stafford back up over Burrow with Stafford's full complement of weapons. Well, now obviously minus Robert Woods, but now his current full complement is Cooper Kupp, Odell, and Van Jefferson. So if he has all 3 of them and Joe Burrow is down T. Higgins, then I would say Stafford, and you have the luxury of Stafford not playing until Monday night to make that change if you have to. But I think I'm going to say Burrow as long as T. Higgins plays. I don't know if you caught any of that, if you're still looking at technical.
I'm still working on it.
Okay. Do you? All right. Basically, it was Burrow or Stafford. I say Burrow.
All right. I think we got the chat in here.
Okay.
In the wrong spot. There we go.
Oh.
All right. We're finally.
I see
back.
it now trickling in, but it's on your.
Yeah, it's on my face.
It's on your face.
I got it.
Okay. It's happening. That's what I like to see.
All right.
Hey, there we go.
We're back. We're good to
We're
go.
back. We back
What's going
up.
on,
Good
everybody?
job.
Back.
Good job.
Back in business.
We did it.
All right.
Okay. I like to see it. So I said Burrow over Matthew Stafford at quarterback as long as T. Higgins plays. If T. Higgins misses, then I would say that's enough for me to put Stafford above Burrow. Stafford has the much more difficult matchup by the numbers.
And for what it's worth, the head coach came out and said that the team was going to run more heavy sets this week and moving forward, which means more opportunities for the run game, which is good. More opportunities for Sony Michel, even when Darrell Henderson is playing. But that means you're taking a ball out of Matt Stafford's hands for a few more snaps a game. So you do have to factor that in too. So yeah, I'm going Burrow, and I agree. If
as long as
Burrow
Higgins
doesn't have
plays,
Higgins, right? So yeah, I'm with you there. Mr. Heinen, lack of volume and I can easily get can easily get hurt is the concern. As a player, I don't think he's really lost a step though.
Talking
Just
about
looking at
Julio.
his efficiency.
Yeah, the problem is the fact that he can easily get hurt now is, to me, another way of saying he's lost a step.
I mean, yeah, he might not have lost a step on the field, but if you can't trust him to be on the field, then that's a bigger issue.
Yeah, it's Ayuk, especially with Debo less than 100%. We gotta play Ayuk. I don't want to play Julio. I don't want to play
honestly,
Julio.
Yeah, his lack of volume is a huge concern too. He's not going to get 10, 12 targets a game like he was getting on Atlanta, even when he's
not
all the way healthy.
Not the same offense.
I mean, he'll be lucky to see 8 targets, and that's the Julio of old was good enough to to give you a good fantasy day with that. I don't know if he gets that to a good fantasy day on 8 targets in this offense.
Can't trust it.
You got to see it to believe it. So yeah, Judy over Julio, Ayuk over Julio.
Oh, we picked Elijah Moore last week. We did? Awesome. And we picked Sony Michel. I remember liking Sony Michel last week.
Yep.
Even before, I remember going into the day, Darrell Henderson wasn't expected to play, but then he was made active late. And we were still saying Sony, it's gonna be Sony, and then as it turns out, Henderson was only an emergency back, because he didn't play. So yeah, nice. And Joe, love to hear it. Love to hear it. That's what we want to. That's what we want to see. That's what we hear. That's what we are here for. Getting you guys wins. That is the plan.
Absolutely.
The intent is to always make sure we give you guys the best opportunity from our perspective to get a win.
Your chosen Rose, if you got to choose between Sony Michel and Cordarrelle Patterson, in that situation, I'm going Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yeah.
But what's your whole starting lineup look like? Because with Cordarrelle Patterson, you can play games with wide receiver, running back, since he has both eligibility in both slots.
Oh, that's true. Can you put him in over like an MVS? At wide receiver,
and then Sony Michel, and then still be able to play Sony Michel. That lineup would give you the best chance to win.
I know, of course, he's got dual eligibility on both Sleeper and Yahoo. Does he on EN, which is the worst format for playing fantasy football, by the way.
Hey, JL Bribieska, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
If you're in here.
On ESPN, Cordarrelle Patterson is only listed as a running back. This is why ESPN sucks. Move your leagues to Yahoo or Sleeper. Yeah, everybody move your leagues to Yahoo or Sleeper. That's what's so annoying.
I didn't even know that. Oh man.
Yeah, ESPN stinks. Okay. Patterson over Sony Michel. It's too hard. I can't take Patterson out of my lineup at this point.
No.
I can't do it. Neither have a very good matchup by the numbers, but Patterson's been crushing all year.
He's an RB1 this year. And yeah, you can play Sony Michel over pretty much anybody outside of anybody who's an RB1. If you're a weekly RB1,
he's a low-end RB1 this week,
right.
But low-end over.
He's on the borderline for me.
Firm or RB1,
low-end
yeah.
RB1, but if there are any bona fide, sure-thing RB1s out there, you're not playing Sony Michel over. It's not a situation like Nick had a few weeks ago with Javonte Williams, where, okay, now he's getting the full workload, we're going to play him over Najee Harris, and it ends up panning out. I'd be playing Cordarrelle Patterson there. And James Martin, what's going on? Would y'all start Brandon Cooks, Van Jefferson, or Brandon or Ayuk? Conventional wisdom would be Brandon Cooks, but I can't trust Brandon Cooks. I can't trust their offense. I can't trust.
I think conventional wisdom is Ayuk without Debo. I think I would play Ayuk if Debo misses the game.
I think I'd play Ayuk even if Debo plays, because
Debo plays,
I think he'll be on a snap count. I think they'll use him.
He will. He is likely to be on a snap count. Yeah.
So I would be. I'm playing Ayuk there because.
Yeah, I would go Ayuk.
I mean, it looks like Tyrod's going to be healthy for this game. I can't trust Tyrod at quarterback for Brandon Cooks.
No, it's Davis Mills. They came out and said Davis Mills is the quarterback for the season.
Did they?
For the rest of the season.
All right. Good for them making a forward-thinking move for once.
Right. But, even in a down game for Brandon Ayuk last week, he had 3 catches for 55 yards. That is doable. That like you can work with that.
I'm going Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk.
DOG CJT, what's going on?
Dog? Dog CJT? I don't know. What's going
yeah.
on? Start Foster Moreau or Ricky Seals-Jones in full PPR.
They're close to me.
We liked Foster
week
Moreau
14.
last week.
I'm going back to the Foster Moreau bandwagon there.
Kansas
Moreau,
City gives up a lot of points to tight ends.
I'm going Foster Moreau.
Yeah, I like Seals-Jones as a pickup. Logan Thomas is done for the year, and by the numbers, Washington has some great matchups for the tight end.
We should make the caveat that if you need a tight end for the rest of the season, it should probably be Ricky Seals-Jones. But if you need a tight end for this week, it's going to be Foster Moreau.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Washington hyper targets the tight end.
Yep.
So some of that is out of necessity.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that.
Some of that is out of necessity. But Foster Moreau does get 100% pretty much of the snap share when Darren Waller is out, and Waller is out. And this, anytime you play Kansas City, whatever your feelings are about the Kansas City offense these days, you can never rule out a shootout with them. That's like the one offense where it's like, this could always happen. This could happen any given day. And it did a couple weeks ago against the Raiders. So if it happens again, they're going to be playing catch up. They're going to be throwing the ball. They have to keep pace. Foster Moreau.
Yep. Then don't get me started about his RAS score.
We're not going to.
It's above 9. I know you didn't ask. I don't care. Damon Luce.
What's up, Damon?
The deepest running back core.
That is the deepest running back group I've ever seen in my life.
This week, Sony Michel, Antonio Gibson, James Conner, David Montgomery, Alvin Kamara, and CEH. And you can only start 3.
Thinking Kamara, Gibson are 1 and 2. You're correct there. Montgomery at the flex.
Sony, or Conner.
Or no, I would actually, if J.D. McKissick is not gonna play, Antonio Gibson has been an RB1 the past couple of weeks and has gotten like 28 and 32 touches.
I think he's right. He's one of the first 2, but we're looking at.
Holy hell! I got stuck.
We're choosing between
Kamara and Gibson.
Montgomery.
We're between Montgomery, Sony, and Hilaire. I'm sorry, Sony.
And Conner.
Sony.
Are you going Sony over Conner?
I am. Chase Edmonds is back, and while I don't think that means Conner's role is just like toast, he's going to eat into it a little bit. Sony Michel has nobody to eat into his workload. The last piece of
news that I have is the Cardinals will wait until Monday to decide if Chase Edmonds' ankle will be activated from injured reserve. Okay. Did they? So I don't.
But you still have time to figure that out. But like if you play Sony, because they both play Monday night.
True.
If Chase Edmonds is not activated, then I understand wanting to go with Conner. But if Chase Edmonds is activated, then Sony. And since they both play Monday night, you have the luxury of waiting for that news.
Yeah, and so how strong you are at running back means you got to sit Montgomery here, even though Montgomery is in a good spot.
And Clyde, holy hell.
I would play Montgomery over Clyde for this week, but
I would play Sony or Conner
over Montgomery just based off of the fact that you can pick and choose there. Right.
Yeah. Kamara and Gibson 1 and 2, and then the Monday night running back of your choice in the flex over Montgomery. I think Sony over Montgomery this week. Yeah.
Like if I had a head on, I'd take it off. Hats off.
Trades had to have been done in there, right? Or unless Clyde fell to
unless you're like in an 18 league there, and that's why. But
regardless, Kamara, Gibson, Sony if Chase Edmonds is activated, Conner if he's not.
AK, what's going on? Start one wide receiver PPR. Julio or Ayuk?
Ayuk. We don't believe in Julio at this point.
And
not the same team.
Running back PPR, Sony Michel or Saquon. I'm going Sony this week, and I don't.
I am going Sony as well. What did Saquon do last week? I think it was another week of like blahness, right?
Yeah, I don't think he did very well.
Who they played Miami last week. That's right. He did not play very well. I know that for a fact because I started the Miami defense over the Bills defense, and that was the right call. Actually, he did a little better than I thought. 11 carries for 55 yards, 6 catches for 19 yards.
Yeah, but he got 10.4 fantasy points. I'm expecting Sony Michel to get well
PPR.
above 10.4 fantasy points in a half PPR league. Yeah.
In a full PPR league. It's full PPR. That's because Saquon caught 6 balls last week, and with no Kadarius Toney.
So are you still going Saquon?
The offense is still really bad. Well, here's the thing: the Chargers give up lots of points to running backs, but the Giants suck. The Giants stink, but Saquon doesn't. So many moving parts here. By the numbers, the Cardinals are a bottom 5 matchup for running backs, but obviously the Rams are a good offense. So I'm okay firing up Sony there. The Chargers are the much better matchup, but the Giants are awful. That's kind of like what we're working with here. I think based on that, I still think I think I'm inclined to agree. You said Sony. I think I'm going to say Sony. Better offense, not as good of a matchup, but better offense. Played well last week. No Darrell Henderson. Not that like you worry about Devontae Booker with Saquon back, but it's just it's a worse offense by a lot.
I mean, yeah, I know Sony's been working his way back healthy, but I mean the 2 weeks before then he put up less than 10 points, and
yeah,
I mean I don't care what offense they're playing against or what defense they're playing against, that offense just isn't good.
Yeah.
Isn't Sterling Shepard back? Which means
Maybe.
A lot of those short passes should go to Sterling Shepard and not.
Well, Tony will be out, but no, I think they both have a slightly. I think they have different roles.
I'm going Sony.
Well, but I would say Sony.
Technically a safer floor and just as much of a ceiling, I think, for this
Yeah,
week.
probably a safer floor. Yeah, Sony.
And one last thing, Joe Harris. It doesn't have to be one last thing. You can throw some more questions out there.
Could be, it couldn't be. It's up to you.
You have Schultz at TE. Does
Schultz
that change
tight
anything
end.
starting Amari Cooper?
No, Cooper's frustrating, but Cooper's still a talent level higher than like most of anybody's other options, right? If that makes sense. Like, he has wide receiver 1 upside any given week. You can't say that necessarily about just anybody. Does it always happen?
Like 4 catches,
no.
He can do it. But yeah.
Right. He could get 4 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then he'll follow it up with 2 catches for 20 yards.
And he plays in a great offense. He's not a guy like
But he
Brandon
plays
Cooks,
in a great
who's one of
offense.
those guys that doesn't play in a good offense that can get the ball to him in that fashion. But, he plays with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And they're without one of their playmakers
to that point,
without Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard
that's going to help.
That's going to help push more targets
Schultz.
into. Yeah, that's going to help boost the target share of both of those players.
If you have 2 players in a good offense, you can play both of those players.
That's okay, especially when they're at different positions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Let's see. Robert Mitchell has you have Chase Edmonds. Opponent has Connor. Would it benefit you to play Edmonds or pick up Penny, Jamar Jefferson, or Chuba? Chuba. If Chuba is available to pick up among these options, I would play Chuba. It's a great matchup against the Falcons. The Panthers are not an offense you can trust, but the Falcons stink and are a team that is like a team overall to target in fantasy, right? The Panthers defense could create a short field for the Panthers offense. Chuba doesn't have to go that far to get a touchdown.
Well, if Chase Edmonds plays, I would play Chase Edmonds over those guys. Because if you look, the Carolina offense, it's not only is it just not an offense that you can feel confident in, but they have a quarterback that vultures touchdowns from running backs historically, habitually.
Yeah, he does.
So you can't trust Chuba Hubbard to get you a touchdown this week. You can't. You're hoping for some PPR points. You're hoping for some yardage.
You're
Chase
hoping for
Edmonds,
PPR points from Chase Edmonds, though, too.
right? But Chase Edmonds is a better bet to get them from a better quarterback, who in the past, even though I'm not super high on him being a better start than Connor this week at all. I think he's a better start this week if he plays than Chuba Hubbard. Plays in a better offense, and you're
I know,
basically the same role.
Well, Chuba is the projected starter. Chase Edmonds is not.
Cam Newton is playing for the team.
Yeah, I understand that.
Do you realize how much of a factor that is? I mean, look at the Patriots last year. Damian Harris had 2 touchdowns, even though he was getting a ton of work, and that made him a low-end RB2 because he wasn't getting touchdowns. And even though he was getting a ton of work and getting the yardage and hitting 100 yards a couple of weeks, if you're expecting Chuba Hubbard to hit 100 yards, then yeah, go for it. But
I'm not expecting him to hit 100 yards, but what I can expect is that he will play. What happens if you don't play Chuba and then Chase Edmonds isn't activated? Like, that is a very realistic possibility. And then you're stuck.
I wasn't factoring
and then you're stuck.
Yeah,
I think you got to play Chuba.
I wasn't factoring that in. You're right.
Yes, could Chase Edmonds be activated? Sure. But to your, like you said it earlier, or you read the report earlier, the Cardinals are going to wait until Monday night, which is an indication that, like, he's not guaranteed to play. Therefore, we don't even know if he's 100% healthy yet. Chuba.
Okay. Yeah, Chuba.
Here's the thing, Robert.
But out of those options, he's the one I feel most confident in. If out of the 3 that you got to pick up,
yeah, right.
I don't feel confident in him.
Sure, but I know he's going to play.
There you go.
I don't know that Chase Edmonds is going to play, and I don't know how effective he's going to be in his first game back. Even though, yes, he is in the better offense.
Him before kickoff on 1 p.m. Sunday.
Which is unlikely, but if we do, then
I would
sure.
swerve and play Chase Edmonds.
But Robert, plan to play Chuba, because if you're, let's put it this way, if you play Chase Edmonds, then you're stuck with Eno Benjamin probably as a fill-in.
I wasn't factoring in
Edmonds can't get active if Edmonds doesn't get activated.
Yeah, I wasn't factoring in the days they were
playing.
So
go Chuba. Right, on Monday night, Monday night, a guy coming off IR, stay away. Just because, unless it's like a stud and you have no choice, like, stay away. Play the guy on Sunday who you know is playing and starting.
True. Yep, you're right.
In a good matchup. So yeah, Chuba.
Yep.
P Diddy, what's going on?
P Diddy, Papa Diddy, Puff. Dynasty full PPR flex. I traded Cole Kmet 2 late 22 seconds for James Conner. Needed a running back for the playoffs. Did I overpay? Is it tight end premium?
I mean, you're going, if you're...
I don't think you overpaid.
Did you clinch a playoff berth, or are you still needing to? You said needed a running back for playoffs. So I'm assuming that means you're in the playoffs. So you're playing for a championship. And James Conner is a piece right now that can help your team do that.
And honestly, I know a lot of people are looking at him as a 1-year option. Nick and I both believe that he's pretty much played himself into another year in Arizona. He's been one of the best offensive weapons, I think, and Nick thinks, I believe, that they're just going to re-up with them another year, and to play the same role, which means you can still divest yourself of that asset as a 27-year-old running back who, outside of this offense and playing this specific role doesn't have a lot of value. But we both think that he's going to be re-upped by the Arizona Cardinals. So I think that in 2022, you should be able to flip him again if you want to, if you would like to, for basically a comparable package. At which case, you're renting an RB1 for the 2021 season to win you a championship, which is great.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, and even if he
I'm good with going for the win.
Even if he doesn't go back to the Arizona Cardinals, you can probably sell him to lessen the loss that you're taking as far as future picks and stuff.
Not tight end premium, he said.
There you go. So yeah, trading Cole Kmet away is fine.
Yeah, like his time is coming, but it's not right now.
And I don't think that he is a top 6 option at tight end week in, week out. So
he's gonna have to really
So yeah, no, I'm completely
take a big
comfortable
leap forward.
making that trade. I think that was a good trade.
Yeah,
If you're,
I'm good with it.
If you win, because hey, if you win, that trade made your season,
Yep.
right? So what do you don't care? You don't care about 22 second round picks.
Yeah, I don't care about a second round pick right now if I'm playing for a
if
championship.
You win,
Yep.
yeah. Good move.
So, yep, good with
move.
it.
Yep. I hope you win. I hope that trade wins you.
That's always cool if you make the move that puts you over the top. That always feels good.
Yep. Greg Z123, what's going on? Great job as always.
Greg.
Thank you. Defense
Appreciate
question:
it.
Denver, Tennessee, or Panthers?
Tennessee. This one's kind of easy for me. They're playing Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a mess right now. I don't know if anybody noticed today, but things are like boiling over with Urban Meyer. Jacksonville's a hot mess right now. And as of right now, he's still the coach. He's still hot. He is still the coach.
Out of the facility and wasn't going to come back, but somebody.
Jacksonville could just like. There's mutiny developing in Jacksonville, is from what all the reports are. And Urban Meyer is still the coach and gonna coach the team tomorrow. When it sounds like he has, to say that he has lost the locker room is an understatement. And Tennessee is the better team anyway. 8.5 point. Last I saw, the line was 8.5. That might have jumped up even more after the news today. They're huge favorites. Jacksonville, I think, is one of the most favorable matchups in all scoring formats as far as playing a defense against them. Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to run with narratives, Jeremy McNichols and Julio Jones are back for the team, healthy. So they are a little bit healthier moving into this game too. So yeah, I'm going Tennessee, no question, because Jacksonville. Yeah. You play anybody who's playing Jacksonville.
Trevor Lawrence has not thrown for more than one touchdown since week 1. The team is prone to giving up sacks and turnovers. I expect Tennessee to have Tennessee could have a lead by halftime, and then it's just sack city in the second half.
I could see it.
So, Tennessee. Denver's appealing at home against Detroit. I get it. They're just not as. It's just I think it's even more favorable with the turmoil going on in Jacksonville. And Carolina, a good matchup against Atlanta. Just it's not as appealing to me as the Titans are this week against Jacksonville.
Yeah. Again, play anybody that's playing Jacksonville. Play anybody that's playing the Jets. Play anybody that's playing Houston. Those are 3 teams to target. So
yeah.
Tennessee, and it's not
and the Giants.
Not a super hard question for me. Yep, and the Giants, as of late for sure.
Yep.
P Diddy, Papa Diddy, Puff, full PPR. Is that Moreau? Foster Moreau, Jared Cook, Ricky Seals-Jones at tight end with Hawkinson out.
If that's Moreau, then
Cook in a game where Keenan Allen is out. Keenan Allen
has
averaged
true.
10 targets a game over the last 5 games. It should be the Mike Williams show, but Jared Cook should pick up a fair amount of slack in that offense, even though
the Giants give up some.
Even though Jared Cook hasn't been super viable this year as a start,
he's been he's given you low floor plays.
For the first 6 weeks of the season, he was the TE12. And for the last 6 weeks of the season, he's been the TE22, I believe.
I think if that's Moreau, if P Diddy, if you meant to say Moreau, if that's not Monroe, I say Moreau. It's a much better matchup by the numbers, and I just expect the Raiders to, no matter what the game script is, they have to throw against the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes lit them up for 5 touchdowns last time they played. They have to throw the ball. I think with Moreau playing the full complement of snaps with no Darren Waller, I think he's the stream. He didn't hit last week. I think this is the week where he comes through.
Yeah, and it looks like Mike Williams has been activated off the COVID list, so he's playing. That would have been the deciding factor for me, I guess. If both Allen and Mike Williams weren't playing, then it'd be Jared Cook for me. But since Mike Williams is playing, I like Foster Moreau a lot. So I guess I gotta agree with you. Even though Cook would be there, it's splitting hairs for me. They're really close this week. They might be right next to each other in my rankings if I had legitimate rankings.
Yeah, I think I go Moreau.
Yeah, he did it last week, but that was I believe that was an anomaly because if you look at his history when he's playing the full complement of tight end snaps for the team, he does well.
And it's a good matchup.
Yep.
And he's going to be needed.
James Martin, Michelle,
What's up, James?
Saquon, or Kareem Hunt. What's going on, James?
Sony. If it's just one of those three, Sony. No Darrell Henderson. Just better offense than Saquon has on the Giants.
Kareem Hunt was an RB1 playing with Chubb for the first 8 weeks of the season before.
Yeah, but it's they're playing Baltimore. It's a division game. The Browns don't feel great right now.
Fair.
As an offense. I say Sony. Like, he had a great game last week. Let's see if he can ride that momentum. Like, this time there's no question he's the guy. I mean, maybe he knew going into the game last week that he was going to be the guy. This week we all know because Darrell Henderson is not playing for sure.
Yeah, and again, the coaching staff did say they want to play.
They want to get him more involved.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to get him more involved because he's going to start.
Michelle.
So
Michelle. Decent running back depth, though. Good job.
Yep.
Big Kong, what's going on?
Big
on
Kong?
The line. All right.
Season on the
all right.
line.
Tennessee or Kansas City?
Yeah. So somebody else just if
Tennessee.
Greg also just asked us about this, and Tennessee was one of his options. That is the defense that I am rolling with this week.
And Nick has been very on point about his defensive starts over the past few weeks. So
have I?
Yeah.
Are we sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, appreciate it. I think the Titans are a good play this week. Their pass defense is the one thing that is kind of leaky, but it's as good of a matchup as you can ask for against Jacksonville. Again, the last I checked, let me just double check this really quick. The last time I checked the line, it was 8.5, and with all the crap that happened today down in Jacksonville with the news about Urban Meyer and things reaching a boiling point between him, the coaches, and the players, it just sounds like a hot mess. It's actually down to 7.5. Okay, so the line came back to Jacksonville a little bit. That's interesting. So something to consider. I still think Tennessee takes care of business rather easily. I really think that. Coming out of their bye week, playing a bad division opponent, I think they take care of business. They're strong up front along their defensive line. Nothing scary about Jacksonville's offense right now. I think Tennessee has a chance to be winning this game early, which I think allows more time.
Yeah, I think it's Tennessee. Yeah.
For Tennessee to play in favorable situations.
You got that's an offense to attack. Tennessee.
I think it's Tennessee. Kansas City's been playing better of late. They have. But Derek Carr is if we're just looking head to head, Derek Carr is a tougher matchup than Trevor Lawrence right now. This year right now.
Greg Z123, your tight end question, the answer is Moreau. Foster Moreau. Of those options, Foster Moreau. And AB, what's going on? A wizard.
Foster
No,
Moreau.
I'm going Moreau. A wizard is never late, AB, so it's all good.
A wizard is never late.
Darnell Mooney, Dawson Knox, Ty Johnson at the flex.
Darnell
Mooney?
Yeah, I think so. What's Allen Robinson's status for this game?
I think he's back.
I mean,
he is back.
Does that hurt Mooney? I don't think it does. Yeah, he is back.
He is back, but it doesn't hurt.
He will play.
Dawson Knox has a good matchup this week because, the Bills are going to have to throw a lot, but I think I'm going Darnell Mooney because he has a higher ceiling.
Safer floor, higher ceiling.
From Dawson Knox, you're hoping for 4 catches.
I think Mooney bounces
targets.
back. Last week, I think was what the rain, the crap weather was a big factor.
Mooney.
Yeah, I'm going Mooney. I like him. I think he's gonna be good.
I think he already is good.
Yeah, I think he already is good too. Great, he's really good route runner.
Yep. James Martin, actually start three. Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley, Kareem Hunt, and Sony Michel. Joe Mixon, Sony Michel.
Yeah, did Joe Mixon practice this week?
He's expected to play even though he had an illness.
So, I know that the coach said he expects him to play. But he's still shaping up. He's questionable. He's shaping up to be a game time call. If he's in, or if he's active, he's in. You gotta keep an eye on him. And they play at 1, or they play in the 4:00 window. But I guess does Saquon too? They are on the road against the Chargers. Yeah, it's Saquon starts at 4:05. I think Mixon starts at 4:25. But we should be getting updates about them relatively around the same time, with enough time before kickoff. I would say, man, Saquon and Sony Michel.
The answer is easy for you. But if Mixon plays,
if Mixon doesn't play, you have to pivot because Kareem Hunt will have already played. Right. James, who are your backup options here? Because I'm going to say of these options, Kareem Hunt sits. But if Joe Mixon is ultimately ruled out, Kareem Hunt will probably have already played. So who's a backup option in the late window, like that plays at 4:00 or later, that you could pivot to? Let us know.
Tanya 187, what's going on?
What's going on, Tanya?
Half PPR, Hunt, CEH, J-Rob.
Clyde.
CEH, yep.
Clyde. Just,
J-Rob.
The Raiders, I think the Raiders give up lots of points or they don't give up like best in the league to running backs, but they give up top 10 production to running backs.
And J-Rob's not all the way healthy. Hunt's coming back healthy for the first game from an injury. And
Clyde has the best matchup, I think, by far.
CEH.
Yeah, Clyde.
DOGCJT, PPR Flex, Brandon Ayuk, Van Jefferson, or Devonta Freeman.
Huh.
And you rock too, bro. Thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. Freeman's enticing. I mean, it's his backfield. I mean, he's an RB2.
Freeman is the safe play. Ayuk, would you go Freeman unless Debo doesn't play, in which case Ayuk? Or would you just go Freeman?
I think I might go Freeman regardless. I think Latavius Murray has been back healthy for the past 2 weeks and has done nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Even in a great matchup last week against Pittsburgh, it was Freeman. I think Freeman is a rock solid, safe RB2, right until further notice. I think he's got to be played.
Much more than RB2 value, but he is going to get you RB2 value.
But he's got an RB2 floor. Yeah. I think I'm going Freeman.
He's the Hunter Renfrow of running backs right
now. Yeah, just kind of just steady. Will have a role on an offense that they have been throwing the ball more, but we know Baltimore, their bread and butter is running the ball with with misdirection and with Lamar Jackson.
Yep. Debo not playing does give me a little pause if Debo doesn't play. But I guess the safe play is just to roll with Devonta Freeman because his role is defined, and we've seen what he can do with his role the past few weeks.
He's a starting running back, yeah. And he's catching passes too in full PPR. He's catching passes too. It's not like he's just getting 20 carries. I think Freeman. He had 5 catches last week. Freeman. Yeah. Freeman. Even if Debo is out for the 49ers, Freeman over Ayuk.
Johnny Jones, what's going on? Foster Moreau, Cole Kmet, Ricky Seals-Jones, or Gerald Everett? I would go Foster Moreau.
Yeah, I think the trend here is Moreau.
Look,
really
he's
good
filling in
matchup.
for a tight end 1, and he has almost just as much athleticism as that tight end 1.
For the rest of the season, Ricky Seals-Jones,
Yes.
because Washington hyper targets the tight end, and the matchups are great by the numbers. But this week, Foster Moreau.
Yep.
In what should be a shootout. Patrick Mahomes torched this team not too long ago. What was it? 3 weeks ago, for 5 touchdowns. This could be a game where the Raiders have to keep pace again, or maybe they just want a little bit of revenge. Foster Moreau. But Ricky Seals-Jones for the rest of the season.
Hey man, Tanya, I'm looking up what McLaurin has done lately.
It hasn't been a lot. It's been okay.
This week, I would play Mike Williams over Chase. I just wanted to see what McLaurin had done lately, just to see how long the stretch has been going on. But Mike Williams is going to be the team's wide receiver 1 this week.
Yeah, Chase might be the Bengals wide receiver 1 if T. Higgins misses, then he definitely is. But Mike Williams, right, we already know, is definitely the wide receiver 1 with no Keenan Allen.
So yeah, 1 boom week in the last 5 weeks for Terry McLaurin.
It's got a great matchup by the numbers. Dallas is starting to give up. Dallas is starting to come back to earth as a defense and against the pass. Just throwing that out there. I understand wanting to pivot, but man, it's tough to pivot off.
I'm comfortable with that. I am.
Mike Williams.
For this week, yes. Yep. Because, I mean, best case scenario, Higgins is coming back, and they bring him along slowly, though. Right?
What did Jamar Chase do last week? I feel like Mike Williams is still hit or miss, and he is
with no
the
Keenan
one.
Allen, Keenan Allen frees up 10 targets.
Again. Yeah, the one positive thing of the Giants' defense is that cornerback James Bradbury. He's pretty good, and we know Mike Williams can be hit or miss. He can get locked up. With T. Higgins, actually, I'm changing my tune here. With T. Higgins coming into this game questionable regardless, and I've been a big T. Higgins, I've pushed him hard the past couple of weeks. I'm going Chase. I'm saying play Chase. With T. Higgins coming into this game banged up, Jamar Chase even had a floor. He had his floor last week, and nobody even paid attention.
Yeah, I'm
Chase.
playing Mike Williams and Jamar Chase. Are you playing
my bench? Oh, you're benching. Oh, you're playing them both. Oh, I'm sorry.
For this week only. I mean, I wouldn't do that any other week. But
okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was start 1.
1 boom week in the past 5
sorry,
weeks.
I thought it said start
Mike
1.
Williams because of the spot that he's in this week. I'm going Chase and Williams this week. Are you going?
Okay,
Chase
so
McLaurin?
Chase is definitely in. Sorry, I thought I misunderstood. I thought it was start one of these the 3 guys. I'm going back to the well with Terry one more time. At home against Dallas.
Got a super consolidated target share. Great matchup.
I'm going back to the well one more time with Terry because the thing with Mike Williams, yes, he's going to operate as the Chargers wide receiver 1 this week. But he himself, yes, he was deemed a close contact, so he's probably fine, but he was on the COVID list. He's probably fine because he's going to play.
It was a close contact, and
It was a close contact. He didn't have symptoms. I understand.
I don't think that's a worry this week. I don't.
I think him having to deal with the number 1 corner maybe is. Chase, I'm going Chase and Terry. I know Terry's been pulling teeth.
But I'm going Williams and Chase.
All right, John says Mike Williams. I say Terry. Terry has been a bust the past couple of weeks, so if that's enough
neither Mike Williams or Terry McLaurin are bad plays.
No, they're both good plays.
They're both good plays, but I think Williams
has more upside, but Terry has. I think Terry's floor is safe in this game.
I can't say that this week. Keenan Allen is freeing up 10 targets. Who are they going to go? They're not all going to go to Jalen Guyton and Josh Palmer and Austin Eckler and Jared Cook. Some of those targets are going to go. And Eckler's coming into the game a little banged up too, so keep that in mind. He's got an ankle issue, I believe. So Mike Williams for me. I think Mike Williams has one of his weeks this week. And
this could be a Mike Williams week where he totally
to say
pops.
a McLaurin week isn't going to happen too. We could be in a situation where they both pop off. I just think the person with the higher floor this week is Mike Williams, and I think they have basically the same ceiling when they both hit. But the higher floor, just based off of the fact of he's going to be the number one in that offense.
Mm-hmm.
And the other options there aren't ones that I'm worried about taking much of a target share away from him. I'm not worried about Tyron Johnson and Jalen Guyton taking much of a target share away from Mike Williams. Austin Eckler would be the only player that I'd be worried about there. And after a certain point, he doesn't operate far downfield. So Mike Williams.
John likes Mike Williams. I like Terry, but we got a super from P. Diddy.
Thank you, P. Diddy. Appreciate it very much.
Which is very much appreciated. You're great too, man. Thanks for always being a part of these chats, a part of these streams. Hilliard or Abdullah in the flex in full PPR did make the playoffs. And are we going to do content in the offseason?
Yes. We got
dude.
some fun stuff planned in the offseason.
We have some stuff in the works.
We'll have live streams.
We gotta find
content.
a good time. Are we gonna wait until like maybe week 18 or something and have like where we or should we sprinkle our news in? Like we got to figure out when we're actually going to announce like what our plans are. Outside of, are we just going to do generic content where as long as you have our notifications on, you'll see it? Yes, for sure.
Yes.
As far as Hilliard or Abdullah in the flex, I think Dontrell Hilliard, with the Tennessee Titans being 7.5, 8-point favorites depending on where you look. I think again the Titans' strategy on offense has not changed despite Derrick Henry going down. This team wants to run the ball, and Dontrell Hilliard looked good week 12 in a tough matchup against the Patriots.
163 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I think he got like 11 or 12 carries, so he really popped a big run. Nothing scary about the matchup against Jacksonville. Abdullah's got a favorable matchup too, and a lot of people like him as a sneaky ad for the remainder of the season with McCaffrey down and him in a potential pass catching role. But we got to see it first. But we got to see it first. Hilliard, we've seen it. We've
Hilliard
already
a little
seen
more
it.
Than I do Abdullah.
Hilliard.
Yep.
Hilliard.
But thank you again, man. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, appreciate it. Congrats on making the playoffs. Let's keep the momentum going, and yeah, for sure, be on the lookout. Off-season content will absolutely be happening.
Yeah, I know you got a Dynasty League. We're going to be doing a lot of Dynasty content in the off-season, and we're hoping to be able to do some team evaluation type stuff in the off-season. And we're still kind of formulating a plan, so once we have a plan for you, we'll do a stream where we go a little bit more in depth into what we have planned for the off-season and then moving into next season. But hey, just thanks again, bro.
Appreciate it. Johnny Jones, Terry, DK, and Chase. Feels like it should be Chase and DK. And it probably should be Chase and DK. Here's the thing. DK's splits with Russell Wilson are worse than they are with Geno Smith.
I know Terry hasn't had a good few weeks. DK hasn't had a good few weeks either.
I think I'm going back to DK's got
I'm going Terry.
Good matchup.
Chase and Terry.
That's wild. You're going Mike Williams. So your rankings are Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf. That's crazy.
I mean, can you trust DK?
No.
Can you
even?
Trust
I mean,
DK?
it's a great matchup. It's a phenomenal matchup. But guess what? Terry's is a little bit better. Slightly, like it's splitting hairs actually.
The Seahawks, I don't.
Yeah, I don't trust the Seahawks either. At this point, the Washington's a better football team than Seattle.
It's tough, man. But yeah, I mean,
Terry and Chase.
I have DK.
I say Terry and Chase, Johnny. Terry and Chase. Yep.
I have DK in a dynasty league, and I'm thinking about maybe sitting him, even though there are spots to play him 6 times.
I just noticed my camera is like weirdly not centered. I'm working on it.
The technical difficulties stream.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're
Sorry, guys.
low budget at the moment, but we're
Yep.
working on it. We're getting there. But yeah, if you don't play DK now, will you ever? I mean, you don't have. Do you have
Hey,
to?
if he
You know,
moves
if
to
you don't
Swift-
have to, then so be it. Like, he's not the slam dunk
you
must
never know
start
what
that
happens.
he looked
I
like.
mean, God forbid Chase or Terry go down, then you have a wide receiver 2 with a low floor, albeit, but a wide receiver 2 that you can trust.
Yeah.
To throw in there and not feel completely bad about. You know what I mean? So even if you don't play DK, I mean, I have players on teams where I know they're good, but they're going to be sitting. That's a good problem to have.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't take not being able to play DK now or playing him ever as a bad thing, because injuries do happen. Being put on a COVID list can happen at the drop of a hat. And so yeah, it's having depth is a very good thing to have moving into the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah. But Terry and Chase.
Yep. Big Kong. I have my fake lineup right now in with Nick Westbrook and Jeff Wilson. Do I pivot to Landry, Van Jefferson, or Judy for running back Michelle or Freeman? Michelle.
Yeah, Sony as the. I mean, Sony's got RB1 upside. Freeman's a steady RB2, but Sony has RB1 upside without Darrell Henderson. So Sony.
And I believe you pivot off of Nick Westbrook, Akine. I do.
To Judy.
And that's probably the safest bet, even though Judy hasn't had a great weeks in the past few weeks either.
And I would play. I don't know if
Judy's had 5 weeks of below 10 points in a row.
Yeah, but against the Lions, I'm more inclined to want to play it.
You don't want to try to go upside with Van Jefferson and see if he can get you 82 yards and a touchdown on 3 plays?
Yeah, I mean, and he's been good for that, and actually he's been pretty rock solid recently.
I think
I would certainly.
I think I might go Van Jefferson
over Judy.
Judy's been that whole offense has just been bad the past few weeks.
Yeah. No, yeah,
it's just been bad the past few weeks, and Jerry Jeudy hasn't had one good game this year and since he's been back. 5 straight weeks of, not including the bye, 5 straight weeks of below 10 points.
Let's see. For what, half PPR?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the matchup gets a little bit better by the numbers. Yeah, all right. I guess Van does have more upside.
Van has more upside.
Is that really where we're at?
The Arizona Cardinals can put up points, which means
the
Rams are going to have to keep pace and put up points and push the ball downfield. And they don't have their number 1 running back, and I know that they wanted to run the ball more, and they didn't have a problem giving the ball to Sony a bunch of times last game. I expect more of the same this game, but I think Van Jefferson has a chance to put up a good box score. Better than Nick Westbrook Akine for sure. Better than Landry for sure. The question is, better than Judy? I think he has just as much of a chance to put up a good box score as Judy does. And I would rather play him because even he has basically the same floor. And over the past few weeks, he has a much higher ceiling. Much. So I'd be going Michelle and Van Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm with it. And Johnny, if Mixon doesn't play, then don't play P. Ryan. You can play Terry and DK. Like I would play Metcalf over P. Ryan.
Yes.
Like then there's a talent discrepancy that I can't ignore.
And for what it's worth, both Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll have come out and said that they want to force it to DK Metcalf a little more. And DK did have a little bit more of a decent game last week. It wasn't a boom week by any means. And he's overdue for one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. If Mixon doesn't play, then definitely DK.
Yep.
Yeah. Brett McCoy, what's going on, man?
What's up, Brett?
You need some help? All right. Non-PPR, RB1 Gibson, RB2
Yep.
Javonte Williams. Nice.
Yep.
Wide receiver 1 Debo, question mark. Yeah, you're not sure. Wide receiver 2 Chase. Right now, I'd be operating under the impression that wide receiver 1 Chase. And then wide receiver 2 McLaurin.
Yeah,
Flex Devonta
yeah.
Freeman,
Debo didn't.
tight
Did
end.
Debo practice this week at all? I don't think he practiced this week
I
at
think
all.
If the 49ers are smart, they sit Debo Samuel this week because he's dealing with the same injury that he dealt with last season. Why would they play games with that?
Yeah.
With one of the best playmakers in the NFL right now. Why would they play games with that? Lawrence Franklin, thank you for the super chat. We will get to your question right
that,
after
man.
we finish up this one.
Yes, absolutely. Appreciate that.
I mean, yeah, I think wide receiver 1 is Chase, wide receiver 2 is McLaurin.
Yes.
And then
with
flex is Freeman, that's fine.
Yeah.
And your tight end, do you feel I guess you got to play Pitts.
Got to play Pitts. I would not play Debo. I would play Chase and Terry. Your running back situation is fine. I would play Chase and Terry. I wouldn't play Debo.
If we get some good news on Debo, would you play him over Freeman?
No, because he hasn't practiced all this week.
Okay.
Yeah, I would play Chase and Terry, Brett. I would leave Debo on the bench one more week, even if he's active. I hope he's active. I hope he plays. But he hasn't practiced all this week.
I actually hope they sit him.
Well,
because
yeah.
I don't want to get people to be, their front offices and coaching staffs to be playing games with one of the best talents in the league with their health. I like when the talent is out there for long stretches and not just a short stretch coming back from an injury when they're not healthy and then re-injuring themselves. It's no fun.
Yeah. Terry instead of Debo. And if he waits for the late game to play Debo, you'll have to sit Chase over McLaurin. No. So yeah, no. Don't play Debo. Just play Chase and Terry. Because that's the thing. You know those two are playing. Because Debo doesn't play until late? No. Do they play a 120? Is it a 120 or a 425? I always say the California times because
it's a 425 game.
So you're guaranteed to potentially lose Chase or Terry if you play Debo, and then if Debo doesn't play, you're screwed. No. So yeah, Chase and
Debo
Terry.
This week, like the 49ers should.
Yep. But anyway, Lawrence, let's get to your question. First of all, appreciate the super. Start Gallup, Hunt, Jeff Wilson, or Hilliard, or Bateman at flex. You can only get one of these guys in your lineup. The scoring will help a little bit, especially since you're between a bunch of different options. You say Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, he was a running back 1 even with Chubb in the lineup for the first 6 to 7, 8 weeks of the league.
That's true.
I know Gallup has had a hot few weeks. But
True.
Now everybody else, from a receiving perspective, is back in the fold. So we should
between
see him
Gallup
step
and
back
Hunt.
into wide receiver 3 territory. So I think you go Hunt.
I don't hate that call. Even in full PPR.
Yeah, because Hunt's the PPR
Hunt
back
catches
in that
passes.
backfield. Yeah, I'm going Hunt.
And the Browns pass catchers are weak at best.
Anthony Schwartz is out. David Njoku is out.
Harrison Bryant is out.
We haven't seen this offense with Hunt without OBJ.
They're gonna really need to rely on.
They're going to be forcing it to Hunt. They're going to be relying on Hunt. I'm going Hunt.
Gallup is so
steady.
steady.
It's close. Gallup is steady. I don't think it's close.
I think
I'm going Hunt.
I am inclined to agree with you that Hunt is the better option. I think Lawrence, and it's full PPR. I think the fact that it's full PPR makes it a little bit closer. I think Gallup is your steady, play it safe. But like when I say play it safe, I mean you've got rock star after rock star in the rest of your lineup. Maybe you had Dalvin Cook go on Thursday night and you're sitting pretty. Then I would play Gallup. If not, I agree. I think Hunt has RB1 upside. It's not a great matchup by the numbers, but the Browns are going to funnel production to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I like Gallup a lot. I think he's rock solid. He had a nice touchdown catch against New Orleans last Thursday. He's a damn good receiver. But give me the running back. Give me the running back. I'll say Hunt.
Yeah.
And he missed a lot of time to injury. He got that first game back under his feet before the bye week.
And it was not a boom week, but by any means, 2 points in a half PPR league. But
he got his feet. He was getting his feet back under him in a tough matchup.
I'm still going Hunt because that narrative. I like that narrative.
Oh, he did have Dalvin. Wait, he says he does have Dalvin. See, so there, if you had Dalvin Cook explode, like I don't think it's
Brett
so crazy
McCoy,
to
thank you so much. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Oh, Brett,
much
appreciated.
Much appreciated. Sorry,
appreciate that, man. No, not at all. Not at all. Thanks, Brett. Anytime. Hopefully we help you out. That's the goal. But here's the thing, Lawrence, with you and John, I mean, you let me know what you think. Mm-hmm. When you have an explosion from one player like that and you put a crooked number up on Thursday, like, I don't hate Gallup as just like I know he's going to give me a steady floor, whereas Kareem Hunt definitely has RB1 upside, but the floor is lower than Gallup's.
I mean, Gallup, I think 5.7 points week 10, 6.9 points week 11, and now in week 12 and week 13 with Amari Cooper out, 15 points, 12 points. But we're looking at a floor of 15 to 12 points.
Cooper was back last week in a limited. We weren't counting on that. But Still Hunt.
I mean, 15 points week 1, 24 points week 2, 15 points week 3, 23
he popped
15
at the beginning
points week 4, 23 points week 5. And then he got injured the following week.
And then he got hurt.
So, hey, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know he put up 2 points.
All right, Hunt. Yeah, all right, fine. Swing for the fences, Lawrence. Play Hunt.
Yeah, I think he comes with a good floor and a ceiling this week with what the offense has to work with for this week. I'm going Hunt. But thank you very much for the super. And
appreciate it.
Brett McCoy, again, thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Much
That's too kind. And Johnny. We got a super from Johnny Cause as well.
Oh, yo. Damn, what's going on, Johnny?
You guys are too damn kind right now.
Much appreciated, Johnny, as well.
But how do we feel about James Robinson this week? They better play him friggin' Urban.
They better not bench him for no reason.
Meyer.
Bad management.
It's just coaching malpractice, and they have no idea. He's lost down there. It's a tough matchup by the numbers. Tennessee is one of the tougher matchups against the run. James Robinson is a matchup beater. He's good enough to, where it's like, okay, he's a tier break where it's like, even in a bad matchup, I'm likely to play him. Did you have Dalvin Cook go Thursday night? Do you have Alvin Kamara coming back? Do you have, Austin Eckler without, you get what I'm saying? Do you have rock star after rock star at the running back position? If the answer is no, you probably got to play James Robinson. It's a tough matchup. But Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback, came out and in his press conference earlier this week or after the game and was like, was all but saying, like, James Robinson needs to be on the field. Like, F you, Urban Meyer. Like, I think James Robinson gets back out there this week. I think that is one thing that they fixed this week. They don't stupidly go back to Carlos Hyde. No disrespect to Carlos Hyde. James Robinson's a better player right now at this point in their respective careers. He needs to be out there. I think he sees his normal complement of snaps and touches, and I think even in a bad matchup, he can find pay dirt. You're talking about maybe a middling RB2 play, and that's what you're just hoping for.
He's a volume-based RB2.
But he can do it. He can do that.
Yep.
He can do that.
Now, if he played in an offense that had all its weapons healthy and was firing a little bit more on offense, then sure. But he's also playing a Titans defense, to the point that you made, that's giving up 18.2 fantasy points to opposing running backs as a whole each week. So we should not be expecting a ceiling game from James Robinson, but middling RB2, volume-based RB2 can get you 12 to 16 points. Sure.
He can do that.
Yeah, and I think his floor is probably around 8 to 10. if they play shenanigans with his usage. But I think, to your point again, they should have fixed that in last week's game, and the Urban Meyer should know not to do that moving forward.
Yeah,
So,
like, what is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, I mean, we both like James Robinson as a volume-based RB2. If you have better options, don't feel afraid of playing better options. If you have the choice between him and Sony Michel. But yeah, RB2 this week. In a week where you might have, Damian Harris on bye. Isn't Jonathan Taylor on bye? There are a bunch of teams on bye here. Myles Gaskin on bye. So yeah, I mean, James Robinson, viable RB2 this week for sure. But thank you very much for your super.
Send
and another one, man. Johnny. All right, thank you again.
Appreciate it, man.
You got Javonte, J-Rob, Jeff Wilson, or Jermar Jefferson, Donta Foreman, Ty Johnson off waivers.
Fill
2 running back spots.
Javonte for sure, and then Robinson, I think of those options, I would go. James Robinson.
Yep. Jeff Wilson, is he playing?
Yeah, he's playing, and he's expected to get the bulk of carries with Elijah Mitchell out. Oh, JaMychal Hasty is playing.
No, I'm saying JaMychal Hasty getting the majority of touches, because I know you're a fan.
Oh, I mean, I think JaMychal Hasty is a sneaky to steal a lot of work in the 49ers backfield this week. So I would play Javonte and James Robinson.
Javonte and James Robinson for sure.
Hell, you guys are loose cannons right now.
Damn. Hey, cheers.
Yeah, cheers to you guys. I don't have a drink with me, right? I just have freaking water. I'm like boring over here.
This is just seltzer water. So I'm with you. It's just
all right. We're sober as birds over here for some stupid reason. Change that later.
All right,
well,
so
maybe you guys appreciate that.
Jeff
we're not
Wilson.
giving you drunken thoughts.
Yeah, we got 2 over Jeff Wilson questions here. But yeah, I would go Hunt over Jeff Wilson. And your team is Rodgers, Hopkins, DJ Moore, Higgins, Montgomery, Cook, and then
Hunt over Jeff Wilson for sure. Team is Roger.
Hey, do you have anybody else you can start over DJ Moore? Because we're not super big fans of DJ Moore.
I mean, there is a tier break from a talent.
Bench? Let me know.
Yeah, let us know who's on your bench, man.
Lawrence. Because you might have somebody on your bench who's a better play than DJ Moore this week, or you can kind of play around with them and see how you feel about it. But DJ Moore, I mean, neither Nick nor I like that offense.
I worry about Cam's ability to throw the ball. I worry about it.
And I know
player prop for the week.
For the past 2 weeks, 13 points, 14 points, then bye.
Cam's player prop for the week is 220 total yards. There's not a lot of confidence that he's going to throw for that many yards. I worry about DJ Moore.
Yeah, it took him 10 targets to get to the 14 points that he got week 12, and he took, because he's great, he caught 4 of them for 103 yards, and he caught 1 long bomb there, but it took him 10 targets from Cam.
Yep. Crazy.
So let us know who's on your bench.
Let us know who the rest of your options are.
But I like that lineup.
Oh yeah, for sure. But let us know who else you got, and we can figure something.
Hunt over Jeff Wilson
out.
Yes.
But yeah, and thanks again for the super.
Very much. Thank you.
Everybody else who's in here, appreciate your patience. Let me blast through some of these questions really quick for anybody who has been waiting. And Brett, just to finish that thought off, don't play Debo, play Chase and Terry. T, what's going on, T? Which Detroit running back do you think is a better play for Sunday's game?
Igwebuike.
John, you think Igwebuike is the bet? Did I say that right?
I don't know how to pronounce it exactly correctly.
We think he's the one who has the better chance to beat the DeAndre Swift role. Yes. Jamar Jefferson he's facing an uphill battle as the running back against Denver.
He's less athletic. They've had basically the same amount of workload this season, so it's not like one has the edge there. Igwebuike has had just as many splash plays as Jefferson. Jefferson had a big run in the Steelers game. Igwebuike had just as good of a game in that game as well. So also scored a touchdown. So I'm going Igwebuike. And if you want to hear more about him, we just dropped 2 videos
dropped
yesterday.
2 videos on him.
One on Jefferson and one on Igwebuike that went into both of their situations. They're both playing the Broncos. Same team, obviously. But the Broncos are a good team against the run, so you do have to factor that in. But if you have to make the choice out of those two, I'm going Godwin Igwebuike. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
Brett, Tennessee or New Orleans defense? I'm going to say they're both in good situations. They both have favorable matchups. The Titans are at home with a much larger point spread. Like they're much bigger favorites. Is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Tennessee.
They're much bigger favorites. I'm going to go Tennessee.
With Tennessee.
And Elijah Moore on IR, yes, that helps the New Orleans defense. But on the road, I'll just give Tennessee's the safer play at home in a great matchup against Jacksonville, who is a train wreck right now. Joe Harris, question for your second league, FPPR, with Henderson on the COVID list. Options are Chase, Pirine, Hasty, Penny, or either of the Lions running backs. Pick one?
Chase.
Is that Chase Edmonds or Jamar Chase? If it's Chase Edmonds, then you can't wait until Monday night. You're going to have to wait until Monday night.
Then I think it's Hasty.
Oh, boy.
It's either Hasty
of
or
these
Igwebuike.
options.
It's either Hasty or Igwebuike.
Yeah, it's a dart throw between the I would say
if
Hasty
Mixon
in that
doesn't
point.
play- If Mixon doesn't play, then it's Samaje Perine. If that's Samaje, if that's LaMichael, no.
Probably.
It's Samaje,
probably
if
Samaje.
Mixon
LaMichael's
doesn't
been
play-
in a healthy scratch all season long.
Perine. If Mixon does play, I'm going Hasty or Igwebuike.
Well,
which would you go?
Give me Hasty, just like the better off. 49ers are a better offense than the Lions. Hasty. If that's Chase Edmonds, I'm not risking him on Monday night in the event that he doesn't get activated.
Yeah.
Hasty if Mixon plays, Pirine if he doesn't, and they play in the same game, so you have the luxury of knowing before you have to make the call.
Yep.
Kahunoe, you're welcome. Gallup.
Yeah, we just found that, or Nick just found that out.
I only
right before the right before
sitting
the
on
live
it,
stream.
sitting on it for
So,
like
yeah.
an hour before I
Gallup
realized
and
Gallup.
Gage in half, I
Gallup.
think we're both going Gallup. Yep.
Gallup, better player, better offense, better quarterback. I'm trying to rip through some of these. We got some people that have definitely been waiting, and we
Greg
appreciate
Z,
your
forgot to
patience,
ask,
guys.
Have a rough week here and need to hit waivers. I have Mitchell, Waller, Taylor,
Oof.
Allen, PPR.
Oh,
Need two wide receivers and a flex. Ty Johnson, Jefferson, Detroit,
Jamar
Sanders,
Jefferson, Judy,
Mooney,
Sanders,
Gage, Guyton. If you can pick up Mooney, pick up Mooney. And if you can pick up
Judy and
Judy, I
Judy
guess.
and Mooney.
If you can pick
Judy
up
and
Judy,
Mooney.
then go with Judy.
Judy and Mooney.
I don't
PPR.
love Judy and what he's
Nah,
done over the
but
past
he's
few
a
weeks,
tier
but
break.
He's better than Gage and Guyton.
He's a tier break
even
over
with
all
Keenan
these other
Allen out.
guys.
So pick up Mooney, pick up
Judy and Mooney.
Yep, that rhymed. Hey, Aladdin,
Yep.
what's going on? Ty
going on,
Johnson, or
Aladdin?
Jamar Jefferson.
Ty, Elijah Moore.
Is Igwebuike there?
I'd rather play Ty
You still
Johnson.
would rather play Ty with getting.
Yeah, just because there's no
4
Michael
rushes
Carter, there's
and
no
4
Tevin
receptions.
Coleman, there's no Elijah Moore. They're playing at home. Ty.
Fair. Yeah, I guess it's Ty, but you're not expecting much. I don't think we're gonna get that 4-game stretch where he was playing with Mike White. I don't think we're gonna hit that ceiling with Ty Johnson, even though he should be getting the majority of the running back snaps.
He's not gonna get a ceiling, but he might be a viable PPR option.
Yep. Jason B. Fisher, what's going on? Pick
Up,
a
Jason.
deep sleeper for wide receiver other than Guyton or Crowder. Amon-Ra, other.
Who are your options? Let me see if you
I mean,
posted
in that
any
same
by
offense,
chance.
other than Guyton or Crowder, unless you're starting Guyton or Crowder, or they're just not available. Josh Palmer is one.
I mean, I assume with some of these guys like MVS is probably picked up.
Is Sterling Shepard available? I'm not.
Is Josh Reynolds? Yeah, like is Reynolds available?
Reynolds
like
is another one with no Hawkinson. Yep,
yeah, Reynolds with no Hawkinson.
that's
like
a good one. If Reynolds is available, he's a good pickup.
yeah, he might be fine. Trying to think of like guys who are down a few options, or who are like who are dealing with injuries. Crowder.
I mean, would you go
right
to
on the
any of
Jets.
the
I
other
mean,
wide receivers on the
Cole,
Jets?
I guess.
Would you? Keelan Cole.
Keelan
Okay.
Cole, I guess. He had 20 targets like weeks, I think, through like weeks 6 to 8, something like that, for whatever that's worth. So let us know, Jason, if there are any like if there are any names that stand out, and we'll see if we can pick between a few.
Yep.
Callie, what's going on, Callie?
What's going on, bro?
What do you think of Clement, Ito, Gainwell for playoffs, half PPR? Well, Gainwell will be viable if one or more of the Eagles running backs need to
I think
miss.
it's Gainwell there.
And I think he's flipped over Boston Scott at this, but he's kind of gotten his opportunity back over
again.
Boston
Yep.
Scott.
I think I'm going Gainwell.
Fluid. I think the situation is fluid, but I would say Gainwell over those options because Tony Pollard sounds like he's going to try to play through this injury.
I don't think he plays this week, but I do think we see him in the fantasy playoffs. Yep. And Ito Smith, I can't.
He's signed to the practice squad, but
can't trust Ito Smith.
Nah,
so
it's Gainwell
there. Yep. Mario Martucci, what's going on?
What's going on?
My lineup: Murray, AJ, J-Rob, Cooper Kupp, DJ Knox. I need a flex. Penny, Wilson, Hasty, Mooney, Gallup.
Mooney. He's been doing it. He's been delivering recently. Last week, I'll attribute that to 1, it was a bad matchup. 2, it was awful weather. Andy Dalton threw 4 picks. It should be. I saw this on Twitter. Andy Dalton threw 4 interceptions. None of those throws were headed Mooney's way. So he should have just thrown to Mooney.
Over the last
times.
5 weeks, Mooney is the wide receiver 11, behind Jalen Waddle and in front of T. Higgins.
Mooney's a low-end wide receiver 1. Last week was a bad game, bad weather.
Mooney, and it's not even close, bro. I'm surprised he's on your wire. Pick up Mooney, or I guess.
Or if he's on your bench,
I think he's on your bench. But Mooney.
Yeah, let's play Mooney, Mario. I feel good about that. And in a game where he should be playing catch up.
Yeah.
Where the Bears are gonna be playing catch up. Bears are gonna have to throw Mooney. And yeah, congrats on being that high up in the standings. Let's get that bye week.
Get that first. Go get it.
Let's get that bye week.
Yep. Hey, and glad we could help. Glad we could help for sure.
Yes, sir. Callie,
Diddy, thanks again. Thanks, P Diddy. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks again, man. Yep. Start 2, 1 running back, 1 flex. Jeff Wilson, JaMychal Hasty, Sony. Well, Sony for sure. I can stop right there. Sony for sure with Darrell Henderson on the COVID list. P. Ryan Bateman, Abdullah, Sutton, and is Sutton a drop? He's getting close.
If Mixon is not playing, then it's Sony and Perrine for me. If Mixon is playing, then it's Sony and Jeff Wilson for me. Is Sutton a drop? It depends who you're dropping him for, but yeah.
He's close. I would say Hasty over Jeff Wilson. I'll plant my flag and put my money where my mouth is. I expect the 49ers to be playing from behind tomorrow. I think Cincinnati gets right at home and rights the ship a little bit, especially if Joe Mixon is healthy and T. Higgins for sure. If the Bengals have their full complement of offensive weapons, I like Hasty. If Higgins and Mixon are both out for the Bengals, then I would prefer Wilson. And the luxury here is they play each other. So you have the luxury of knowing going in what the situation is going to be. So here's what I say, Callie. Sony is a slam dunk. I say play Jeff Wilson if either Mixon or Higgins, maybe especially so Mixon. That's I think a bigger loss for their offense. If either one of those guys is out, we have to downgrade Cincinnati's offense, so I like Wilson a little bit better. If they're all healthy, if they're all in, then I would actually pivot to Hasty. If all the Bengals are healthy, I would pivot to Hasty.
Okay. And if Mixon isn't playing and Higgins isn't playing, you're not switching to Perrine?
No, I'll play Wilson.
Okay.
I'll play Wilson.
And to your question, is Courtland Sutton a drop? Over the last since week 7, from week 7 onward, he's the wide receiver 73.
Well, that's
putting
bad.
up an average of 3.3 fantasy points. So yes, he is absolutely almost a drop.
He's a drop.
And if he doesn't hit this week, then he's a
in
drop
a great
for the fantasy
matchup.
Playoffs. Then you just cannot trust him for the fantasy playoffs, and you can drop him. But if he shows a little bit of a spark again this week, and I don't think it's a talent issue. I think it's the offense and Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think it's a talent issue there, but they're just not using him. Through the first 6 to 7 weeks, he was one of the league leaders. He was the league leader in air yards. And over the last 7 weeks, that's completely fallen off the map. I mean, wide receiver 73. So yeah, no, you can drop him if he doesn't do anything this week. And even if there's somebody on the wire that can help you win this week, or can help you win within the next few weeks, pick him up for Sutton. Drop Sutton. I don't feel bad about that. I debated it with Nick right before this live stream. But Robert Mitchell, Panthers, Dallas, or Broncos defense?
Broncos. Playing the Lions at home. This is a good
with
matchup.
No Hawkinson and no
Hawkinson.
And
no DeAndre
backs.
Swift. No Jamal Williams. Yeah, Broncos.
Yep.
The Lions just got their first win of the season. Congrats to them, but it came against a division opponent. Now they got to go on the road to play an out-of-conference opponent. Broncos.
And E111, we echo your sentiments there. Thank you for
yes, absolutely. Happy holidays to everybody.
And I'm glad that you clinched the playoff spot, bro. Awesome.
Oh hell yeah!
Glad we could help if we were to help in that.
If we were able to help out with any lineup, or if we helped out with any lineup decisions in any way that pushed you to the win that week, then that's what we do this for.
Yep.
That's
Jay
what we
Wright,
do this for.
Who should I flex? Donta Foreman, AJ Dillon, or Jeff Wilson Jr.?
Dylan.
You going Dillon over Jeff Wilson? Dillon?
Easily.
Okay.
Better offense, better quarterback. They're playing in Lambeau. The Packers play well at Lambeau. AJ Dillon scored week 12 even with Aaron Jones back from his injury. Dillon absolutely has a role in one of the best offenses in the NFL. Dillon.
Yeah, I guess I'm going Dillon there too. Yep.
Dillon.
D. Linney, what's going on? Pick one to drop
Linney.
in 12-team half PPR dynasty. Josh Palmer, Brian Edwards, Singletary need a TE to fill in for Hawk.
I mean, it's between Palmer and Edwards. Edwards is pretty disappointing, but has a clearer path to potentially more playing time in the next year or so. Palmer still has to is still going to be playing behind Keenan Allen. What's Mike Williams' contract situation? Is he a free agent?
I am not positive about that. I don't know.
I think I would say Palmer. I mean, he's younger. I would say Palmer.
Josh Palmer is younger by 0.8 years.
Over Edwards?
Edwards is the much better prospect still, and obviously he hasn't put it together. I think that he just doesn't mesh with his quarterback. We don't know if Josh Palmer meshes with his quarterback yet.
So Mike Williams is an unrestricted free agent in 2022, but I don't necessarily know that Mike Williams leaves the Chargers, Josh Palmer steps right in. I would drop Palmer if you need a tight end.
I would too.
I mean, dynasty, all that stuff factoring in.
Hey, should we be dropping Singletary? But nah, you can't drop a running back who's technically still getting work, even though he was deactivated.
He's still getting work. It's a running back at playoff
in a good
time.
Offense too. So yeah, I think you're dropping
running
Palmer,
back at playoff time. Got to keep.
Now, Palmer could have a good week this week, so if somebody could snatch him up off the wire real quick.
Fine, you're trying, but help your own team first. If you need a tight end and you're trying to win because you're working to the playoffs, help yourself first.
Yeah, but dropping Palmer.
Drop Palmer.
Yep. Hope that helps, man. Scar 17S, what's going on? Darrell Williams or Jeff Wilson? Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he should get most of the snaps, or he should get most of the touches. He should be the favorite for carries. Without Elijah Mitchell, I'll say, Darrell Williams is in the better offense, but Clyde is back and has kind of taken over significant 1A duties. Darrell Williams still mixes in, but Wilson's going to be the starter.
And Scar, thank you so much for subscribing. Much appreciated.
Oh, thanks, Scar. Welcome aboard.
Every Saturday, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. EST, and every Tuesday at 6 p.m. EST.
Yeah, all times Eastern.
Yep.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for being here. And if you have any more questions, let us know.
Absolutely.
Rance Warshak, what's going on? Hunt or
What's up,
Gordon?
Rance?
This is a tough one. This is a tougher one because
I think it's Hunt because Gordon's questionable, right?
But if
Gordon even gonna play?
He's been a running back too the majority of weeks.
Your audio's going. It sounds.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I was looking at something.
There you go.
Here.
Sorry. Kareem Hunt. I mean, to your point, Kareem Hunt's been was an RB1 at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
when he was playing.
I think I'm going Kareem Hunt. I think I'm going.
Gordon is not even a guarantee to play. I would go Hunt and plays in the later window. So if you're sitting Hunt, who plays in the early window, and then Gordon is out, then you're stuck. Kareem Hunt.
True.
Kareem Hunt, France.
Lenny Hooper, Moreau, Jared Cook, RSJ to replace Hawk at PPR. Moreau.
I was going to say, do you like Austin Hooper this week?
No.
No? There's nobody else. It's a good matchup, actually, believe it or not. The Ravens give up lots of points to tight ends, but so do the Chiefs.
Moreau.
So do the Chiefs. I am inclined to think that Moreau does do it this week. Here's my thing, D. Linney. I think Moreau delivers this week, but I think of these guys for the rest of the season, Ricky Seals-Jones is the better long-term hold. But for this week specifically, I'll stick with the Foster Moreau take.
No, yeah, this looks to be a pick off the waiver wire. Since you're replacing Hawk, is Hawk expected to be dealing with this hand injury for a while?
I mean, the Lions are 1-11-1 or 1-10-1.
So
like everybody's a shutdown candidate for Detroit right now.
With Waller coming back next week, with the point disparity between Moreau and Ricky Seals-Jones, I don't think it's going to be that much this week. Should we recommend Ricky Seals-Jones? Just take Ricky Seals-Jones.
If you have Waller, then obviously you can just hang on to Moreau. But if not, then Ricky Seals-Jones might make sense as like the longer term pivot.
I don't think he has Waller and Hawk. But
true. Well, you could.
But I think
it's probably unlikely.
Being
it's just not best
up
ball.
In the air, his status being up in the air with that team being so
that's
bad right
true.
Now.
That's true.
I think I might suggest going RSJ with Ricky Seals-Jones. Just because.
Actually, you know what? I'm glad you brought that out. Yeah, actually, the more I think about it, Hawkinson. We're not doctors. We can't predict the future, but we have to consider the fact that Hawkinson, maybe not next week, maybe not even the week after that, but Hawkinson could be a shutdown candidate for a Lions team that is not playing for anything other than the first overall pick in the draft. And if they have an opportunity to make up BS injuries for their best players to sit them, this might be when that happens. So not that the injury that Hawk has suffered is BS, but you get what I'm saying. Teams are looking for a way to load manage their injured players. So yeah, Ricky Seals-Jones for you, for D-Lenny, for you specifically, or anyone who has Hawkinson, Ricky Seals-Jones might be a safe rest of season stash and pivot with some beautiful matchups for the rest of the season.
Yep.
Right, I like that call.
We got a lot of questions in the chat, so let's speed through these.
Damn.
But I just want to say, Vanessa Mace, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it.
Yep. Appreciate that.
All right.
111 for next week. Drop Jamal Williams or Hilliard for Sony Michel. What about for this week? Your championship is week 16.
Then,
wondering if you
go get.
Drop
Hilliard for Sony Michel.
Or just you can drop AB. You can drop AB if you need to.
Yeah.
Since you're week 16, not week 17. First of all, get Sony Michel and play him this week.
Yes.
Play do it now. Do it immediately.
Yeah.
Go get Sony Michel. I hate to say it, but you can safely drop Antonio Brown. The Bucks might just cut him. He's guaranteed out through week 15, right? So he's not going to help you before championship week. So week 15, if you really wanted to, you could go pick AB back up. But he's not going to play this week or next week, guaranteed. And I don't feel good about him returning at this point for the rest of the season in general. The vibes just don't feel good.
Me neither. Yeah. And Brett McCoy, hey, appreciate it. Thank you. That's
appreciate
very
Brett.
Kind words.
We do what we can. I don't know if we do what we can as far
praise,
as
But thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
MVS, Devonta Freeman, and Odell pick 2, says JSK.
First of all, please don't spam the chat. I know we're taking a little bit of time to get to all these questions. We appreciate everybody's patience, but let's not spam the chat. That being said, you got to play Devontae Freeman. He's an RB2. Between Odell and MVS, I like MVS's chances as a long as like a deep shot with upside this week. Probably got to go Odell.
I think you got to go Odell too.
Probably got to go Odell. Odell is a safe floor. Marquez Valdez-Scantling has a little bit of upside if you could use an upside play.
10 targets and 5 targets over the last 2 games.
Valdez-Scantling is a solid upside play if you think you need it. Odell is like a better floor play if you think you can play it safe. But
Odell
Freeman
scored a touchdown in the last 2 games. Yeah, you got to go. I think it's Odell and Freeman.
Odell. Yeah, that's fine.
And Rance, yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sheed one, what's going on, bro?
What's up,
Elijah
Sheed?
Moore to IR. Hey, sucks, man.
Grab Josh Palmer.
1 week flyer thoughts. Sure. Who else is out there?
Sure, but just out of curiosity, name us some wide receivers. Like give us 4 or 5 wide receivers that are out there as well. Let us know, Sheed. Appreciate the kind words. Everybody's being so nice to us tonight. What the hell's gotten into you guys?
And E111.
You met
that's
dang,
crazy.
told that
What?
to the band Papa
Okay.
Roach. That's wild. All right, we'll take that.
Thanks, man.
we'll take that potential trajectory. We'll take that potential trajectory. But appreciate the kind words.
Yeah. Hey, I hope we're not your guys' last resort for fantasy advice.
Yeah.
No. No. Papa Roach reference. No.
I got it.
Know the song?
Last
Okay.
resort.
All right.
I got it.
All right. I do what I can. D. Linney.
Yeah.
Opportunity knocks. Pick one. Opportunity knockers. There you go.
Yep. Peoples-Jones, Crowder,
A-Rob.
like Crowder. I
Crowder.
mean,
he's
not a
the
great
wide receiver
matchup.
1, and he's going to be the wide receiver 1 there for the next 3 weeks because
Corey
Davis is out, and it looks like with Elijah
it's
Moore
half
being on
PPR. Yeah, it's half PPR, not full PPR. But
Crowder.
compared to these other options, I think that's not enough of a deterrent. I mean, it's wild that Allen Robinson is in this conversation, but he's here for a reason.
And
He's
we're
been
still
awful
going
this
Crowder.
year.
Like it's wild, but I'm going Crowder.
He's been awful this year. Crowder's got what should be a safe floor. He's got at least 5 targets in 6 of his past 7 games.
And Evan Rosales, or do you start Cam
What's up, Evan?
or Taysom?
Taysom Hill.
I think you can start Taysom, yeah. Same
Taysom
rushing
with
upside.
Taysom with the mallet finger.
Yeah.
Taysom with the mallet finger.
With Kamara back.
With Kamara
Excuse
back.
me.
Yeah. Cam, I want to believe in Cam, but that doesn't mean I do believe in Cam.
It was a great story that first week, those first 2 weeks, but yeah.
I mean, I hope it was just a bad game. Right? I hope it was just like a bad game, just like as awful of a clunker as you can get. But Taysom had a bad game too, for 4 interceptions.
Yeah, but you were coming off of that Cam game saying that it was one of the worst games you've ever seen played at the NFL level.
Oh, it
and
was.
We weren't saying that about Taysom Hill and his.
No, because he still delivered some
Right.
scores and he was running around a
so
little
I think
bit.
you go Taysom here. Go Taysom here.
Taysom.
Yep.
Taysom.
And Lawrence Franklin, thank you again for the supers.
Yeah, appreciate
She'd
that
won
very much.
Sutton, Bateman, AJ Green, Josh Reynolds, all of
Oh.
waivers.
Reynolds? What's the weather in Denver supposed
I would
to be
go
like
Reynolds. He's the wide receiver 1 there. And Hawkinson, again, to that point, Hawkinson, we're not sure if he's going to be coming back
Wow, it's going to be nice in Denver tomorrow.
next week.
It's going to be 60 degrees in Denver, Colorado tomorrow. In the afternoon, too. Like when the game is going to be kicking off. It's going to be nice in Colorado tomorrow.
Josh
So
Reynolds.
there's no concerns about the passing game. I was just checking to see, Denver in a moment's notice can just start snowing, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
No precipitation in the forecast. Reynolds.
Crazy that I've gotten so far off of Sutton, but yeah.
Yeah. And Bateman. Bateman got his job taken back by Sammy Watkins. They are both cannibalizing the crap out of each other now.
Ugh.
Reynolds with a clear potential, for 10 to 12 targets.
But I'm looking forward to starting Bateman next season.
Next season, yeah. This season,
Evan Rosales,
the wide receiver
yeah,
6.
D. Linney helping out. Evan,
Yeah,
thank you.
Taysom. I'm kind of agreeing. It's kind of
Yep.
kind of no question. I wish it wasn't with Cam, but it's kind of not.
And E11 appreciate it, as always.
Yeah,
thank
man.
you very much.
Always appreciate the support.
Richie, start one. DJ Moore, Mike Williams, or Debo? Mike Williams this week.
Mike Williams.
You're not sure if Debo is going to be playing, and even if he does, he's probably going to be in a pitch count. And just for this week, with no Keenan Allen, who has averaged 10 targets a game the past 5 games, I'm going Mike Williams over DJ Moore, who plays in an offense that neither Nick or I are very confident in.
It's hard to believe in. Really hard to believe in.
Yo, no, it's not a Miller Lite, man. It's a black cherry.
We're
Whole Foods brand seltzer.
Is that Waterloo or whatever it's called?
No, it's the Whole Foods brand. It's the cheap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, we're sober as birds right now for some stupid reason. Don't know why.
Yeah, not a Miller Lite.
Sad.
Yep. But Johnny Cause, hey, thank you for the super.
Yeah, thank you again.
Shout out again.
D. Linney was helping out with some of the that was I think Hunt versus Gallup.
Yep.
And people like
Jason
so
Fewer,
like Peoples Jones
and Brett McCoy, thank you again. But
Yep.
Jason Fewer, who are you guys trying to stash on your dynasty?
Rance.
Rance.
We already got that. Hunter Gordon. The answer is Hunt.
This is a larger discussion.
Yeah, this is a larger discussion.
But before the season ends, guys that I'm trying to get before the season ends.
Yeah. Well, try to say it in like a minute, like a minute's time or whatever. This is a larger conversation, Jason, that we're happy to have. Like,
all those guys are good. I like Nico Collins a lot. Josh Palmer, we've mentioned. I like him a lot.
I definitely like Nico Collins. I definitely like Parham.
Tommy Tremble, I believe he's like 3 years away, and that offense just needs an upgrade at quarterback for me to want to invest in Tommy Tremble. Brevin Jordan, no.
I like Parham. I mean, Jared Cook is obviously like a temporary situation, and Justin Herbert is good.
I like Kene Nwangwu.
You do like Nwangwu.
I mean, he's going to be active on game day just because of his special teams ability. And with Cook seemingly being banged up for a good 3 to 4 games a year, Madison coming in. If for some reason they can't rely on Madison, if Madison goes out in a dynasty league, you could be able to. You could be in a position where you'd have to start Kene Nwangwu at some point in the future, and he's a hyper athletic running back. Tyler Johnson is a good pickup there too.
Yeah, I mean Godwin could move on. Chris Godwin could move on after this year. Right. Antonio Brown might have played his last game for the team already. So yeah, he's definitely worth a look. There's a lot of good young guys. I
mean, I'm looking at any of the wide receivers from this year that didn't do much. If there are guys like De'Ami Brown or Dwayne Eskridge on the wire or something like that.
Dwayne Eskridge is interesting. Obviously, we could be looking at a future in Seattle without Russell Wilson.
Right.
But Eskridge is still young.
But yeah, I'm looking at guys like that, young guys that have underachieved in their first year that could break out in their second year, and then you just have them at the bottom of your roster. Guys like that, those are the guys that I'm looking for. High upside athletic tight ends, Tyree Jackson.
I wonder if like a Devin Duvernay or like a Tylan Wallace like emerges a little bit if and when Sammy Watkins moves on from Baltimore.
No, I think it just becomes the Rashad Bateman show just because it's...
Well, don't get it twisted. Bateman is obviously going to be a starter, but just throwing it out there. Like, we're talking deep end of season dynasty stashes here.
Yeah, and that might be a show that we do.
Yeah, that might be a
video that we put some focus on for each position group, something like that. Excuse me, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. But thank you very much for the question, Jason. And we hope our little bit of speculation there helps. But it's something that we'll definitely be going over as we get.
Yeah, we'll be looking into that. Xavier, what's going on?
Xavier, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Sheed said Devontae Parker is also available. Would you rather play him over? Would you rather play Parker or Josh Reynolds? The Dolphins get who do the Dolphins get this week? I actually don't know. Oh, they're on bye this week. Oh well, he doesn't help you.
Yeah.
Sheed, he doesn't. I mean, he does. I mean, if that's for a playoff stash, then sure. But Reynolds this week. If Devontae Parker's out there, he's worth it. He's worth a stash.
Yeah.
He's definitely worth a stash. But
and Xavier Dubs, you're 8-4, and the second guy lost last week, and I claimed the number 2 and got bye week. And all right,
nice.
All right, hey, appreciate it. Well, glad we could help and appreciate your thanks.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for always
thanks
participating
for
and
tuning
stuff.
in.
600 pot in our league. Are you giving us half the pot then?
Ha!
I'm playing.
Nah, you keep that for yourself.
Yeah.
Let's
well
get
deserved,
yeah.
well
You
deserved.
get that. You get that dub, and you keep that for yourself,
Yep.
or you do whatever you want with it. I don't know.
But glad you're 8-4, man.
Let's get that. Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home. That's what we're planning to do for these next couple of weeks. It's money making time.
But Jason,
and Jason,
we'll get more guys for you. We'll
Jason,
meditate on this a little bit, and we'll come back next live stream tomorrow morning. We'll have a few more names for you.
All I will say is I do agree. I do agree on Kylan Hill. I think he's too talented to be as buried as he is, despite the fact that he got hurt this year. But he's absolutely an interesting name moving forward.
Yep. Ashton Doolin.
Yeah,
Wide
and
receiver
also
on the
obviously
Colts,
this
I'll
is
throw him out there too.
obviously this is pure speculation, or depending on where you think Aaron Rodgers might end up, whoever the running back is, the young running back is at the end of that depth chart, gets a big boost.
Anthony McFarland, Mike Boone.
Nah, the dude they draft in the 4th round next year. But anyway, let's move on.
Hey, Lawrence, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Johnny Cause, thank you for that. Super. Mario Marchucci, do I have to donate for your opinions? No.
No, you don't have to.
No, you just gotta ask questions, and we'll get there. I think we got to your question a little bit.
He said down in the chat he posed a question a half hour ago. Sorry for the delay. If you're still in here,
I mean, we were bouncing between supers there for a little bit there, so sorry about that. But I believe we got to your question.
If somebody is kind enough to donate to the channel, we obviously want to make sure that we get to their questions, but we get to everybody no matter what. It might take a little bit of time. Our structure to this show is very it's kind of like a free-for-all. It's just like us and you guys having a conversation. If it takes 20-30 minutes to get to you, we apologize.
We realize that we do have to do a little bit better with time management. We do end up
our time
speaking
management
for,
is something
5
that we
minutes
definitely
at a
need to
time,
work.
sometimes even more on questions, and we do have to firm that up a little bit, and we'll get better at that as we get more experienced with this, because this is still our first year doing this. But sorry, we got to your question a little bit later than you would have liked.
We'll clean up. We got to clean up our rundown a little bit, and our turnaround times on questions. We end up giving our opinions. Sometimes they get lengthy, kind of like this one right now.
We care about this stuff, so we like deliberating about this stuff.
It's a give and take.
Yeah,
give and take.
Yep.
But appreciate the patience. Sorry for the delay.
Yep. Xavier, appreciate it.
Yep. Appreciate
Lawrence, you already know. Johnny, you already know too. Jason B. Foreman or Hilliard? Thinking McNichols being back will hurt Hilliard more than Foreman, but not sure. Theoretically sure, just because passing down work, but Hilliard was getting a ton of rushes, and he
didn't get a ton. He was just really good with the ones that he got. I think he got like 11 or 12.
Yeah, well, I mean.
No, my point is he was remarkably good with those touches.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't get a ton, but he was.
But he crushed it with the ones that he got in a bad matchup.
Because he comes with upside.
I think Hilliard.
Not only can he run, he can receive, and we're not sure how involved McNichols will be involved, but when he's back.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure Jeremy McNichols is needed tomorrow if this game goes the way I think it will. Which is Titans have a lead. They have fewer passing scenarios, and they don't throw that much to begin with anyway.
And Rance, you're grabbing Crowder over DJ. Hey, I'm playing Crowder over Sutton.
There you
Crowder
go.
over DJ
Crowder
is a little bit
gets
hard.
a big boost.
Crowder over DJ is a little bit harder for me, but if you want to go that route, man, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, they're both wide receiver ones for their offense. Playing in bad offenses, one has a worse pass offense, and that's the Carolina offense.
Yeah.
But yeah, either or. That's kind of at a point where you're splitting hairs for me.
I don't hate the move. Gavin Mertez.
What's going on?
Martez.
Lockett, Jeff
Gavin.
Wilson, or Mike Williams at flex? Mike Williams.
Lockett in a phenomenal matchup against Houston, and he's been playing well recently.
Mike Williams is the wide receiver 1 for Justin Herbert this week.
Lockett has been the wide receiver 1 for Russell Wilson. And I'm going Lockett in a great matchup against Houston, who gives up a ton of points to opposing wide receivers. I say Lockett. We might be split on that, and
they're close for me, but I think the team does want to force the ball to DK Metcalf a little more, and they've been getting other ancillary pieces involved in this offense in the last few weeks, and that hasn't taken away from Lockett thus far, but we've always viewed Lockett as a boom-bust option.
They both are.
But Mike Williams, it's like Lockett if Lockett was playing without DK, but even more so. We're split here, Gavin. We're split here. This is we've been pretty much in lockstep for this whole pod, but or this whole live stream, but we're split.
Williams has the potential for massive volume, but he's boom bust like Lockett. Lockett has been pretty consistent the past couple of weeks Lockett's got the much better matchup with less guaranteed volume. Mike Williams has more guaranteed volume in not as good of a matchup.
Yep. Lawrence, Hilliard, Hunt, Gallup, Bateman, Wilson, Pollard, Madison.
These were the flex options, and then potentially over DJ Moore. Hunt over Jeff Wilson. We had that. Yes. I like Gallup over Moore right now. I think
I do too.
I think I like Gallup more than I like DJ Moore. Better quarterback, better offense,
and getting a fair amount of work of late,
and just a damn good player.
Yeah.
Not that DJ Moore isn't, but like it's a more reliable passing offense. It's a more reliable passing attack. I know they're on the road. I know they're in the division, but DJ Moore's playing a division game too. It's favorable by the numbers. DJ Moore's a big play waiting to happen. And Atlanta gives up a lot of points, but Washington does too. And I think Gallup's the better player. Well. I would go Gallup over DJ Moore.
A little bit safer.
Yeah.
Pretty much just as much upside. Maybe not as much upside, but he's definitely the safer play. Mario again. Sorry about that. Jay Riot. Yeah. Also for TE, should I start Foster Moreau or Austin Hooper? I'm going Foster Moreau there.
Foster in a great matchup, right, against the Chiefs. They give up a lot of points to tight ends. Foster Moreau should see 100% of the snaps, and consolidated target share. I think Moreau and Renfro, they got to be the guys this week.
Yep.
And then Greg Zorline or Daniel Carlson. Yeah. I guess. What if they both? I'm inclined to say my first inclination is to say Zorline. What's he been doing recently? 11, 7, 10. Yeah, I would say Zorline. Well, Carlson's been good this year as well. But if if the Raiders find themselves trailing, that's going to potentially cause fewer field goal opportunities or fewer scoring opportunities outside of like having to go for touchdowns. Whereas I think Dallas is a safer bet to be winning the game. Not that they necessarily will, but I think it's a closer matchup than it is between the Chiefs and Raiders. So I'll say Zorline. More opportunities for scoring. If the Cowboys are winning, they could be tacking points on late with field goals. I'll say Zorline. Zerline. I'm saying Zorline like it's a German. It's Zerline. Zerline. Sorry, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Zerline. We'll go Zerline in a game. I think Dallas wins.
Danny Boy YouTube. Lockett.
What's up, Danny Boy?
Ayuk, since I'm playing Mike Evans, I rolled the dice with KJ Osborne. He paid off barely. Hey, that was one of the most inefficient box scores I've seen in a while. But he got it done. He got it done. And Lockett or Ayuk?
Lockett.
Lockett.
Give me Lockett. I mean, he's been balling recently with Russell Wilson back. There's nothing scary about the matchup. Houston gives up lots of points to wide receivers. Lockett.
There, I'll go Lockett. And Gavin, Austin Hooper or Foster Moreau again? Foster Moreau.
I think the Raiders are going to have to throw and keep pace and do all that against the Chiefs.
Yep.
I think Moreau factors in.
Yep. Greg Z, Igwebuike is available in my league. Flex him over Ty Johnson, Russell Gage, or Guyton. We had a question whether or not you would go Igwebuike or Ty Johnson earlier, and you went Ty Johnson. So
I think I'm still going to go Ty Johnson. Yeah, I mean, at least he's at home. No Elijah Moore. There might be a few more pass catching opportunities out of like some short throws, like around the line of scrimmage for Ty Johnson. On top of no Elijah Moore, there's no Michael Carter. There's no Tevin Coleman. I think Austin Walter will mix in, but Ty Johnson should have enough of a role to deliver, I would say, like an upside RB3 performance.
Yeah, PPR Ty Johnson.
And in full PPR, yeah, and it is full PPR. Yeah, give me Ty. Yep. Give me Ty. What's up, Slim?
What's going on? Thoughts on these playoff handcuffs? Mitchell, Hasty, Booker, Darrell Williams, or Perrine. I mean, Mitchell's great handcuff. Thank you very much for the super. We'll get to you in a second.
Yeah, we will get to the supers shortly.
Hasty technically has Elijah Mitchell and Jeff Wilson
Sony's
Jr.
the best hold right now.
Devontae Booker is the direct handcuff to Saquon, so that has value. And Darrell Williams is the direct backup to obviously CEH. Perrine, same for Mixon.
I would say Darrell Williams I would say Sony's a must hold no matter what, and is a start at this point unless you've got just like a bunch of anchors. And I would say Darrell Williams just because of the offense, and he's been involved. He's remained involved. Clyde is back to being the guy. Booker just plays on a worse offense.
I mean,
Hasty,
I agree with you at the top two. Between Perrine, Hasty, and Booker, I'd rather have Perrine just because.
I guess it depends on the running back I have, but especially if I have Mixon, then yeah, I'd rather have.
Well, even without that, Mixon has been one of the most used backs in the league, and backs that get a ton of usage have a bigger chance of getting injured on a play-to-play basis. So I would rather roster Perrine than any of those other guys. But yeah, to me, Mitchell and Darrell Williams for sure are the top two. And I don't hate Hasty or Booker, but I would just rather have those other guys.
Yes, I agree with that. Hasty's like a deep stash who might only be viable this week, and Booker just like he could be fine if Saquon has to miss time, but that offense is awful.
And Johnny Cause, we got a super from you. Thank you so much. I don't know if that's been sitting there for a little bit. Sorry about that. And Sheed won yours too, so we'll get 1-2, and then we'll go back up to the regular chat. Donta Foreman or Jeff Wilson?
I think Wilson, just because Foreman. I like Foreman. I like both. I like all the Tennessee backs at this point because Tennessee has committed to the run, Tennessee never stopped committing to the run even when Derrick Henry went down. I think all of their backs are viable. But they're splitting. There's three heads there, right, with McNichols back instead of two.
Yeah, and
with Wilson and Hasty.
We're not sure what his usage is going to be. Whereas Jeff Wilson, it's him and Hasty.
Right.
Yeah.
Wilson, I think, is more viable if game script if the game is close. But if the 49ers are trailing, I do think Hasty will get in there a little bit more. But Wilson can catch passes too. Just missed catching a touchdown a couple of weeks ago, which that was on the quarterback. It wasn't on him. It was a bad throw. So Wilson, Foreman, I like, but Dontrell Hilliard's going to mix in and take plenty of work for himself. Hasty is going to have a very different role from Wilson, whereas Foreman and Hilliard have very similar roles and therefore cannibalize each other a little bit more.
Yeah, it's pretty simple for me, Jeff Wilson. And Sheed, Taysom Kamara versus Lamar Kamara this week. Who wins?
Taysom or Lamar? I have to play Lamar.
You got to go Lamar. I have to go Lamar too. I know Taysom, that stack is nice, but I got to go Lamar.
There's a joke about fusing Lamar and Kamara's name together that it's out there right now. Lamara. Lamara. Shut up, Nick. I would,
Thank you very much.
I was like, there's an interesting play on words in there.
That's regular chat because we're been
I
a
know.
little longer
I would
to
say
tooth with some of
just
these things. Lamar.
I know, but with she provided a super. I want to make sure we honor the we pay it forward. So I would just say Lamar is a safer option,
With
is a
Kamara.
high upside option. Taysom has the mallet finger. Lamar is healthy. I know it's a division game, and I know Taysom has the much better matchup, but did the Browns beat the Ravens? Or no, they didn't. Even though Lamar had a bad game, the Ravens still won. Yeah. Regardless, the Ravens are coming off of a heartbreaking loss last week against Pittsburgh. I think they try to get right this week. I would not bet against Lamar having 2 bad games in a row.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Rant. So would you start MBS over Guyton and Crowder?
Yes. Yes.
It's a little bit
That's
closer.
Better quarterback.
But
better
MBS.
Quarterback. Randall Cobb is out.
MBS.
I think MBS is a sneaky big play, or a sneaky strong upside play this week, with almost 20 targets in his past 2 games prior to the bye week. MBS.
And Slim, get that bye, bro. Manifest that. Do it.
Let's go.
I like it. Put it out there in the
What
universe.
we do. I mean, we're in the playoffs regardless, but let's get that bye week. Hilliard, Sony, or Hasty. Sony for sure. And Hilliard.
Gallup and one of these
Sony and Hilliard. PPR and Flex Gallup, one of these RBs.
AJ Green or Pitts.
Sony and Hilliard. Gallup.
Well, Gallup. At a Flex Gallup.
Yeah. Sony, Hilliard, Gallup. Yep. Sony, Hilliard, Gallup. Those are the calls.
And should you re-add Boston Scott? I don't know.
Let's see how Hasty does. Let's see how Hasty does.
So October 24, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. Mitchell is still available. Should I drop Bateman to pick him up for this week?
Yes.
You don't need him to win. Don't care. Sony,
that's okay.
Go get Sony.
If he's your RB6, I'd rather have that than a wide receiver 6 or 5. Yes. Go get Sony. Just add him. Have him on your roster. Because we don't. Yes, I think Henderson. I think it was reported Darrell Henderson is vaccinated, so he should be back next week. But he's still dealing with an injury. He was limited all this week in practice before being put on the COVID list. There was a report that Sony Michel was going to be the lead back regardless of what was going to happen. Let's get him on your team.
Yep, and D. Linney, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't believe in Gage. I don't believe in Gage. I don't.
No. And so
I'm okay with
the
that.
easiest matchup of the season this week.
Right, it's put up or shut up time for Cortland Sutton.
But
it's like if you're
over the past since week 7, wide receiver 73 with an average point total of 3.3 a week. I'm not so if he has a good game this week, what is it? 10 points? I'm not.
Yeah.
I think you could take a flyer on somebody else who has better upside than Sutton, despite the hot name. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you really got to look at the situation and take into account everything. Sutton just hasn't hit since Judy's come back.
Right.
Period. Jason B. Fisher, PPR, must win to make the playoffs. Stack that running back. Week at wide receiver, Judy Gage. Pick 3 of these running backs for this week: Saquon, Jacobs, Cordell Patterson, Robinson, Connor, Michelle. Great. Good job, bro. Hard to bench Sony.
Patterson, Sony.
And can you start Cordell in your wide receiver spot?
Yeah, can you put? I guess maybe if you're playing on ESPN, I assume maybe not. Get your league to switch over to Yahoo or Sleeper, preferably Sleeper. But obviously that's the conversation for another day. Sony, I think Sony of Patterson and Sony in this group, I think have to be in. Connor probably does too.
Jacobs is hard to sit because Jacobs is
the one who's hard to sit here. Well, Sony's going to get all of the work.
Well, you got to hit us with these hard questions, man. Come on, yo.
Do you play Jacobs over Connor. Especially because Edmonds could come back.
I think so. In some of these weeks here where Connor has had the full workload, he hasn't had a good game, and he salvaged his day with a touchdown on virtue of the offense being what it is. And Jacobs, I mean, his workload is enticing as hell.
In a good matchup.
In a great matchup. With no Waller, where he should pick up a lot of dump offs, and no Jalen Richard, and none of these ancillary backs to take away any work for him.
Yeah, Kenyon Drake is done for the season. Is Richard still on the COVID list? Yes, he is.
I'm going Jacobs. I'm going
Sony,
Michelle,
Patterson, and Jacobs. I agree.
Yep. And if you can play Cordarrelle at wide receiver, if you're not in ESPN, then do that, and then play Connor.
If not, get off ESPN.
Slim, it's a contract here from Mike Will.
Yep, just saw that. Yep. Yeah, that was trying to fit. Yeah, if we're trying to figure out who's the drop between Josh Palmer and Brian Edwards, I think Palmer's still a drop in a dynasty league this year where you're trying to win.
And Lincoln Dibbler, I'd rather have MBS than Julio Jones.
I put Julio Jones in. No.
I'd rather have MBS than Julio
I
Jones.
agree. Play Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I think it's 19 targets, weeks 11 and 12 combined. Last week was the bye week. Now there's no Randall Cobb for the foreseeable future. Playing with Aaron Rodgers. Give me MBS. I don't want to play Julio. Yeah, give me, especially with you losing Keenan Allen, and you could use some upside. You could use an upside play, I assume. Let's go with Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
There you go.
I feel kind of confident about that, Lincoln. Let's go with Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Hope that gets you a win this week, man. Bruce, thank you, bro. And E111, what you laughing at?
Oh, he's the Papa Roach when your stupid last resort joke.
Hey, shut up, man. Classic song, all right?
It is a classic song. Don't make me play it later.
I might after the live stream. She'd won. Taysom
Lamar. That was
Lamar.
the super. Yeah, we're it's Lamar. Taysom's got a decent floor, but I can't sit Lamar Jackson.
And when asking about those handcuffs, Slim, you have those running backs?
Those are the guys you have.
So yeah, that's how I would rank them moving forward. But I think it's good to hold on to running backs in the playoffs. As Nick has said multiple times, as I've said multiple times, you want to start hoarding running backs as you get to the playoffs because they're the hardest position to fill. If
most
you have
volatile, they're the most volatile position. Yeah, like weapons during the zombie apocalypse. Hoard your running backs.
Yes,
I coined that for the record, and I'll say it as many times as I need to.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll say it. I would rather have an RB 7 or 8 than a wide receiver 5.
There you go.
So yeah, but all of them are Sony for sure, and then I think Darrell Williams is an absolutely enticing hold with spot start appeal, even if Clyde is playing, depending on your situation.
And Johnny Cause, thank you again for the supers, plural. And thank you for being a member of this community that we're building. Thank you to everyone here that's still here listening.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. We know we get long-winded, I know, but at the end of the day, we're talking because we're trying. It's like how much information can we possibly break down in an amount of time where it's like you guys are still actually we're actually still listening to these two. I don't know what word I was about to say, but we appreciate that that from this perspective, you guys like where we're coming from.
Yep.
I like to think that we're unique in that way, from some of the other channels.
Well, now that we're back to the bottom of the chat, I mean we can chill a little bit again. But yeah, I feel like when I was doing research for starting this thing with Nick, we came across a lot of pods where the focus and a lot of the live streams and stuff where the focus of the live stream or the podcast was on the two people talking and showing how much they knew and and that's great, and just talking straight on for 45 minutes about whatever they decided they wanted to talk about. And we wanted to make something where it was more about you guys. So I would
Well,
try.
yeah,
We try to get
how
to every
can we-
question.
how can
That's
we
why
help the
sometimes we're a
people?
little long-winded on some of these questions because we're trying to work it out for you, or with you, with each other, and help you guys get those dubs, get those wins. So
That's what it's all about.
thanks for
At the
sticking
end of
with
the
us.
day, yeah. Appreciate the patience. Appreciate the support. It's been a fun year. It's our and we're looking forward to doing this for a little bit longer.
Just moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not putting an end stop on this. I want to keep doing this forever. Sheed One, thanks for your super again. Iron Never Lies.
Thank
What's
you
going
again.
on, man?
What's going on, Iron?
Do you think that Jaquan Hardy could step up this week? Jaquan Hardy? Who's Jaquan Hardy? Is this college?
Is it?
I don't know.
I know Iron plays. Iron plays Dynasty. Oh, it is college. Look at this. Or no. Sorry. Oh, he plays for. Wait, he plays for the Cowboys. He's on the Cowboys roster.
No, we think it's gonna be Corey Clement who's gonna be filling in if there is any filling
or Ito Smith, right? Like who was signed to the practice squad, elevated. Like, I think there's too many bodies ahead of Jaquan Hardy. Like, yes, he could.
Rico Dowdle's out there too, so yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
He got elevated.
I don't think
Jaquan Hardy got elevated. Was it Hardy elevated from the practice squad, not Ito Smith? Interesting. Okay, now I understand. Now he was on waivers he was on the practice squad on like all this season. Which this is a move that clearly indicates Tony Pollard is expected to miss the game. Hardy might figure in. He's probably still, to your point, John, about Corey Clement. Hardy is probably still behind Clement on the depth chart.
Yep. He could get a few rushes in there.
He could mix in a little bit. He could mix in.
I wouldn't be expecting much from him, though.
Nah, and Zeke's not 100% healthy, but he did at least have 10 days off. Again, I said it earlier.
And he's getting progressively healthier. At least that's the narrative that the team keeps throwing out, that the injury's not getting any worse. It's actually getting a little better as the season goes on. So take that for what you will.
Yeah. He could mix in. He's not viable like to start as like even in Dynasty as like a deep Hail Mary. But 2, 3, 5 touches, like sure, maybe.
Could see it.
I think a full blown Zeke injury would need to happen for him to get
significant work anywhere.
To get significantly more work, and
in conjunction with this Pollard being out.
Right, which looks all but likely with the fact that he was elevated. So,
yes, sir.
The opportunity's not quite there yet, but he's knocking on the doorstep.
And Robert, hey, thank you, man.
Robert, appreciate that.
A lot of times we need to think through these things as we're talking to them ourselves, and sometimes I'm thinking of something that Nick's not thinking of, and more often than not, Nick's thinking of something that I'm not thinking of. Let's be real. I mean,
for the sake of getting answers out quickly, we also want to make sure we take care with, if you guys are willing enough to stay with us and stick with us and listen to what we have to say, and if it helps make your decision, it might take a little bit of time, but there's at the end of the day, this is going to sound cheesy, but we're taking care,
we never want to rush through what we're saying. I mean, but we also just don't want to be here for 4 hours. So we're that's the tightrope we're walking. We want to talk about each and every one of these questions for 10 minutes and deliberate over it and give you guys the best answer. But time constraints.
Right.
And we want to get you answers quickly. We don't want to have what happened to Mario Marchucci every pod.
Right. We want to. It's a give and take.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Lincoln Diblier, what's going on?
Yeah. Let's go with MVS. Let's take a shot. Let's take a shot on an upside guy who I feel better about with a better quarterback.
Yeah.
And Saul Henderson is out. You're not down bad, man. You're here. You found us. You're good. Would you start Jefferson or Hilliard? It's Hilliard.
Hilliard.
It's Hilliard. He's just it's a better offense. It's a better situation. It's a more favorable game trend is expected to be in the Titans' favor. They're like 7.5, 8-point favorites, depending on where you look. That would indicate that the Titans should be playing with maybe not like a comfortable blowout lead, but they should be playing with a lead, and they want to run the ball in all game scripts. So if they're playing with the lead, that means, yes, Foreman's going to mix in. Maybe McNichols mixes in a little bit, but Dontrell Hilliard played well 2 weeks ago against the Patriots in a pretty tough matchup. On limited touches, delivered a big fantasy day. Now he gets Jacksonville, who just got gashed by Sony Michel last week for 120 rushing yards. Hilliard. He'll be all right.
Yep.
He'll give you an RB2 performance tomorrow.
I think so. I think you really. I really think he will. Yep.
Yeah.
And Sheed won. No, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
that's right.
Hey,
I like that. I had Osborne on my waiver video. I wrote in the title. It was a little buried, but I wrote KJ Osborne's a strong option. I remember that. So yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna toot my own horn a little bit.
And we talked about it in the live stream too.
Yeah. Osborne. It was weird. It was a weird line, and it was looking like he might not do anything in that game, but he made a big play.
He got it done.
Made a big play. It was nice. Yeah. So no, appreciate the kind words. Thank you for being with us all this year. We're not going anywhere in the off season. Maybe the live streams are a little. We haven't figured out our schedule yet, or our intent for content, but it'll be there.
We want to open up this to have some sort of members content and stuff once we start rolling out. Trying to get some of y'all to join us as members.
Hang out with us more.
And we got plans for those zombie leagues. I know, so
the zombie.
We'll get it all together. We'll get it all together.
Yep.
THC 408. What's going on, bro? Should I?
What's 408? I don't know. I know what
area code.
I don't know. Oh, area code. There you go. I like the name regardless. Should you drop Calvin Ridley for Julio Jones?
You can. I think you can drop Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, you could drop Calvin Ridley.
You could pick him up for Julio Jones, but we both think there might be better options out there than Julio Jones on your wire. So let us know if throw it in. Who else is out there? Let us know if there are any other guys that you might be looking at. I know Julio's a hot name and he's a Hall of Fame player, but I think there are better guys for the 2021 playoffs that you can pick up, whether that's depth running backs or wide receivers who can play. So let us know who else is in there. But yeah, you can drop Calvin Ridley. Ridley, and I know you've been holding him in your IR spot.
Yeah, who else is out there? Just let us know who else is out there, and then we might be wrapping up shortly after that. But happy to take a look at the options that might be on the wire, because at this point there's no reason to believe Calvin Ridley.
I would pick Devontae Parker over Julio there. I would drop Calvin Ridley for Devontae Parker with the hopes that you can play.
I would do that too
in the fantasy playoffs, and maybe flex him or something like that. Yep.
I would do that too. I would do that too. That works for me. Parker
Iron,
works for me.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Kind words as always, man. Appreciate it. But would you start the Cowboys or the Cardinals defense this week?
That's
Cardinals
tough.
defense is hard to start this week. The Rams.
I think I'm gonna go Dallas. Like Heineke, like Washington is a bunch of gamers. You got to give them their flowers. They're playing really well. They're in pole position for a playoff spot with Taylor Heineke. I would still play Dallas. Micah Parsons is going to play. I think there was maybe a question mark earlier in the week about his availability, but he's going to start. He's off the injury report, and he's just a monster. Trayvon Diggs is still having a strong year. Dallas's pass rush is decent. They're falling apart a little. Like they're not at the level that they were at the beginning of the year, but they're still viable. And this matchup, a division opponent, division games can always get a little weird. Weird stuff always happens in division games. Not always, but it's much more likely to happen because the teams are just so familiar with each other, playing twice a year every year since their existence. That's think about it. Like, don't you think NFL franchises, at their core, in the front office, in ownership, they pick up on things about their division opponents.
Sometimes, I'm a Bills fan. For a long time, the Bills' whole thing was building a team that could stop the Patriots. And that's how, depending on the situation and stuff. But
it didn't go so well, but they tried.
No, but divisional teams, they can pick up one player just because they want to be able to play a team that they play twice every year a certain way, you know. They add wrinkles to their offense because they know they're really familiar with the coordinator or with personnel that they're going to be facing. So yeah,
I'm an Eagles fan, and when Michael Strahan was in the league, he murdered the Eagles early in his career. The Eagles got John Runyon. You remember John Runyon, the right tackle?
Hall of Famer.
They signed him.
No?
He's not going to be a Hall of Famer. Or, I don't think so. No, but he was a damn good player. Michael Strahan is a Hall of Famer, and they got Runyon specifically because of Michael Strahan. So just I mean, teams know each other in their division. So I think a weird fluky stuff could happen for Dallas that could be good for their defense. Arizona and the Rams, as we say all this, are also a division game, but the Cardinals offense is a little bit more lethal, the Rams offense is a little bit more lethal on paper than the Washington offense. So Dallas.
Yes.
This is an example of us getting super long-winded, but
yes,
we're working on it.
You forgot you have Stevenson too. So it is standard, and this week's outcome doesn't matter. Drop Jamal Williams, Hilliard, or Stevenson. I'll hopefully use Sony next week.
Jamal? I'm not dropping Stevenson. I'm not dropping.
When does Swift come back?
He might not come back.
Then I don't want to be dropping Jamal Williams.
Yeah, I guess. I don't want to drop Stevenson.
You got to pick up Sony. You got to pick up Sony.
Actually, I would pick up Jamal Williams to pick up. I would drop Jamal Williams to pick up Sony. I don't want to drop Stevenson. I think he's carved out a really good role on a team that can really run the ball. And I don't want to drop Hilliard because Derrick Henry's not coming back until for a minimum of at least 3-4 weeks.
And
that's the most optimistic you can be.
He's not coming back until the real NFL playoffs.
Sony, Jamal Williams is a sacrifice you can make to get Sony.
Yep. Yeah. And B, what's going on, B? Guyton, Hilliard, Foreman, Moreau, and my flex.
Chuba. I mean, he should get most of the work. It's a great matchup. I don't overly trust the offense, but he's the favorite for starters' work.
I guess by default, you got to go Hubbard.
Give me Chuba.
I'm not super high on him hitting his ceiling this week, but
no, it's not a good offense. But at least he's I mean, and Cam is there to potentially vulture rushing score, but no Christian McCaffrey. Chuba got all the work. I mean, yes, Amir Abdullah could steal some work, and Cam, but you could say the same thing about Foreman with Hilliard and McNichols. So at least Chuba is the guy who we expect to be the starting running back. Chuba.
And your 408, that was the area code? All right.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I got to keep remembering. I feel like we had that come up last week.
It was 914 and
oh, that's right. That's what I was like.
There was another one, 713, something like that.
I don't remember. I remember the area code conversation coming up, but yeah, you're right. It wasn't 408.
But yeah, THC, thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Hopefully that helps.
E111 with the sunglasses. I see you. Denzel Barrett, what's going on?
What's up,
Denzel?
B3
Solo, what's going on, bro? But Denzel,
on, guys?
Chuba or Sony? Sony, and it's easy.
Yeah, Sony. no Darrell Henderson. It's not a great matchup by the numbers, but he's going to get an RB1 workload. He was an RB1 last week with 120 yards and a touchdown. Not as good of a matchup, but a much better offense, and no Darrell Henderson. Sony. Read East Side Dreams. Why do I not know what that is?
I'm looking it up right now. All right. Okay. I'll check that out.
I'm interested.
Thank you for the suggestion.
I don't have a book at the moment.
E11 book club, bro. I'm about to join.
Book club. There's one of our segments, though. There's one of our off-season segments, book club. Or we can just call it that.
Well,
I don't know.
Nick can't read, so it's all good. B3 Solo, should I start Jeff Wilson or Ayuk in my flex?
Ayuk.
Especially if Debo ain't playing. Yep.
Especially without Debo. If Debo plays, still Ayuk, because Debo might be on a pitch count, and Debo might vulture rushing production from Wilson. He might be asked to run the ball less if he plays because he's hurt, right? But still, give me Ayuk.
It would be really dumb for them to run rushing plays with Debo.
It would be dumb, right?
It's dumb for them to start it to have him playing.
It's exciting from a fantasy perspective, but you're at the same time you're like, this is how you get him hurt.
Yeah, no, bad move. They already did it with Kittle once. Don't do it with Debo again.
Ayuk. I would play Ayuk.
Yeah. Yep. And Tim Shields, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, Tim?
And Denzel Barrett, you're an Eagles fan too?
Yeah, you
All
already
right.
know. Let's go.
You guys are outnumbering me.
We're final. We have this is the latest I think bye weeks I've ever been for the NFL. But we got one this week. Bye week this week, and then we play a bunch of division games to see if we're worth anything. Let's find out.
Hey, I mean, there was a time earlier in the season where I know you weren't thinking the Eagles were going to make the playoffs, so.
They got a shot.
Yeah. There you go.
They got a shot.
Tim Shields, he got 3 defenses. Which defense should I rock for the playoffs? Chargers, Arizona, or Miami? I think Miami, dude.
You have a first-round bye, so not Miami. Miami. I know Miami gets the Jets next week, but I think after that their schedule gets tougher.
The first-round bye changes things, definitely.
Yeah, first round bye changes things because you don't got to worry about it until week. Well, is it this week or next week, Tim? When do your actually? This is an important question. Does your playoffs start next week or this week? Because if they start this week, then your bye week is this week, which would make Miami viable next week. See what I'm saying?
Well, Miami plays New Orleans and then Tennessee, week 16
they play
and
the
17.
Jets week 15. So
yeah, I mean, and New Orleans and Tennessee, they're not stay away offenses.
No.
By week 17, Tennessee should have AJ Brown back. New Orleans will have Kamara back and with some legs under him after playing a few weeks in week 16, so that muddies the waters a little bit. But
this is a loaded question, Tim, because. First of all, let us know when do your playoffs start next week or this week? Because
the Chargers play Houston and Denver in week 16, 17.
That's good. That's good. But
so if you're going off of week 16 and 17, then I would go Chargers.
We just have to keep in mind we can't look too far ahead because your defense is an easy enough thing to stream.
Your playoffs start when they play the Jets.
So next week. So then Miami next week. Miami week 15.
Miami next week for sure.
Miami week 15 for sure.
And then for the following weeks, if you can
week 16, which is championship, that's going to be the championship.
Play the Chargers, that's Houston.
Yes.
And then play 17, that's Denver.
Well, it probably doesn't go till week 17 if the first round bye is
all right.
week.
So
you can drop Arizona.
So
are we saying as good as Arizona is, are we saying you can drop them for a roster spot if you need it?
Take a look at what Arizona's schedule is.
Miami next week for sure against the Jets, and then the Chargers against Houston is incredibly enticing. Arizona for the rest of the season after this week, week 15, Arizona gets Detroit, so don't drop them. And week 16 they get Indianapolis, who is Jonathan Taylor, so they're not usable. But don't drop them because week 15 they have a good matchup. But don't play them either. Miami against 15, the Jets and then Chargers.
You're playing Miami.
Yes.
So why would you need Arizona?
Don't drop them so somebody else can pick them up because they have a good matchup.
See, 3D chess right there.
That's how you play the game. And then should you use Russell Gage, Julio, or Clyde for your flex? Clyde.
Yep.
Clyde. There's a big tier break there for me.
Huge.
Clyde.
Clyde. CEH.
Yep.
Saxophone, Sunsets Media. What's going on? I like that name.
Going on, saxophone.
What's poppin', dude?
I love saxophone. Kicks ass as an instrument, by the way.
It's one of my favorites.
It kicks ass.
It's one of my favorites. I love jazz. Sax is a huge part of jazz.
I didn't play it. I played the trumpet because I was like, it's loud. At the time, a 7-year-old, seven-year-old me was like, I want to play the trumpet because it's loud. But anyway, have Hilliard and Mooney in the 2 flex spots. That's good. Do Reynolds, Guyton, Penny, or Traquan Smith take their place? No. You are correct to lean no.
Closest would be Reynolds, but no.
Closest
Hilliard
would be Reynolds.
And Mooney are in. Keep them
Yep. Yep. Keep those guys in. You're just fine with them. Hilliard should do just fine in a plus matchup, and Mooney has been a low end wide receiver 1 for the past month.
And E1-1, I'm not kidding.
I was thinking. Well, John might not be kidding. Maybe we can make like a.
You just can't see them, but I got books.
You can read. I can't apparently, but.
No, actually, I can't without glasses. So there you go. I was actually talking about myself, but yes, we could do that. We could do that. And saxophone.
We'll call one of our segments the book club. I'm not doing no actual book club. We'll call one of our segments the book club, and it'll be John reading us RAS scores.
Don't put that in the universe, bro. Don't put that out there.
It's out there. Yeah, you're good. You're good with your analysis. Saxophone sunsets. You don't need to like Reynolds is. I like Reynolds as a hold. But he's not worth playing over Hilliard and Mooney. There's a tier break there.
Guyton with no Allen might be enticing, but there are other guys in that offense that can pick up the slack. And I know Guyton had a hot game last week.
Both tight ends really
replicating that 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Penny, I'm not going to that well. I'm staying away if I can.
No, you're good.
Staying away. And Traquan, basically same thing.
You're good with how you have it. You're good with how you have your lineup.
Yep. But thanks for joining us, bro. Thanks for the questions. If you have any more,
let us know. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the questions.
You already know, bro.
Yes, sir.
And Tim, in my other league, I have Brown, Carter, Moore on IR. Now, do I start Mooney, Hilliard, or Dillon in my flex? It'd be between Mooney or Dillon. What's the format? What's the format?
I think regardless of the scoring, I go Dillon there. I expect the Packers to win this game. Therefore, I expect them to be playing with the lead. I like Green Bay. I like Aaron Rodgers led players on that offense at home in Lambeau. The Packers. I've said this before on this stream. I know I have. I'll say it again. The Packers in Lambeau playing in Lambeau is just a different element, and they run the ball well there. They play well there. Dillon has delivered viable, if not strong, fantasy performances in Lambeau, even when Aaron Jones has played. Mooney might have like some upside because of like garbage time potential, but give me the running back. Give me Dillon in the much better offense.
Full PPR.
It's full PPR.
He catches passes.
He can catch passes too, and it's a much better offense. The Bears are not as good of an offense as the Packers. No one's going to argue that. Give me the running back.
Mooney is a tough sit.
Mooney's a tough sit.
Who do you have starting for you at wide receiver would be my question, but I would start Dillon in the flex.
Actually, that's a good question just to make sure. Who are you starting?
Just to make sure, because Mooney is the wide receiver 11 over the last 5 games. So keep that in mind. You're sitting a wide receiver 1 right now.
For a guy who is one of the best chances as far as backups go at
who's
the running
in your
back
wide receiver
position,
spot?
still be a running back 1.
I mean, I don't know, man. Mooney. I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna go Mooney. I'm going Mooney.
Oh, he has Rodgers. Oh, but he has Rodgers and Adams
too,
though.
Go Mooney. Do you want the double stack? Triple stack?
Triple stack. What if Rodgers throws it to Dillon for a touchdown?
All right, hey, this is what we're doing.
I
like Dillon a lot, but I'm splitting just to see how this goes. We're gonna make this interesting. We're gonna keep tabs on this moving into moving into Sunday. But I like both of those guys. You really can't go wrong with either of those guys. I'm gonna go Mooney because he's a wide receiver 1 right now. Nick's gonna go Dillon because Dillon's been great.
He has been.
You can't go wrong with either of those 2 options. So, I hope that helps. If you want to go triple stack, go triple stack. There's nothing wrong with that. In Iron Never Lies, we are absolutely going to do stuff like that. If you go and look on our channel right now, all the way at the bottom, you got to go all the way to the bottom because we're in season. Nick's got 3 mock drafts up there where he was doing live mock drafts. So we'll be doing the same. We'll be doing the same at various times throughout the off season, just to keep up on those ADPs because we know how quickly they can change. We'll be doing it before the draft, after the draft, and definitely with you guys. So Stay tuned for the off season. We'll be out here.
Yes, sir.
Saxophone, thank you. And Pedro Navarrete, what's going on? Yo, McKissick or Hasty?
McKissick might not play.
Hasty.
McKissick is sounding like is he even gonna play? He's questionable for week 14. He remains in the concussion protocol. None of the vibes sound good. It's got to be Hasty. Pedro, it's got to be Hasty. It sounds like McKissick's not gonna play. Greg, Carlson, Bass, McPherson, McManus. I think it's Tyler Bass. I know he had a dud last week. We predicted the dud last week because the weather coming in was really bad. I think it's a bounce back.
I didn't have anything to do with that. You did that.
All right, I predicted it. I think he bounces back this week. I think the Bills' strengths on offense play well to the weaknesses of the Bucs' defense, which is the pass and stopping the pass. I think scoring opportunities there should be plenty of them. There should be enough of them for Bass to deliver. So, Bass. And Tim's got Higgins, Kelsey, Adams, Mixon, Patterson.
I mean, you're not sitting any of those guys.
Well, here's the thing. You can sit.
Higgins doesn't
if
play.
Higgins has to miss, which it sounds like he's going to play, but if Higgins has to miss, Mooney doesn't play till Sunday night, so you could pivot to that if you needed to. But, yes, if Higgins is active, I would play Higgins. Would I play Higgins? Would I play Higgins over Mooney? Hang on a second. Just trying to look at he's questionable for the game. Yeah.
Mooney's been the better fantasy receiver over the same stretch.
I might. Okay, let me see. Tim, just give me 1 second. Let me look at Yahoo's. What's the breakdown on Higgins? He did return to practice this week. The head coach Zach Taylor expects T. Higgins to play. The ankle injury is, it bothered him during practice, but that's just practice. Do we go Mooney over Higgins? Yikes! I like both. I really love them both.
That's a yikes situation. I just can we come back to this one tomorrow? Can you join us tomorrow,
yeah, Tim,
bro, at 10 a.m. EST, Tim?
I'm almost inclined to go nuts and go balls to the wall and say Mooney over Higgins, especially with the midweek ankle injury. But maybe, yeah, if you have time or if you're interested or if you can, we will be back up live 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So if we get it, if anything develops, if any news comes out about Higgins between now and then, maybe that sways us. I'm not afraid to say Mooney over Higgins though.
Me neither. I mean, Mooney's been a wide receiver one.
Higgins. Yeah, he's been a low end wide receiver one. So,
just below Jalen Waddle, just above. Actually, just above T. Higgins. So
just above
right
T. Higgins. They're right there. They're neck and neck, but you're not sitting
Mooney,
Devontae Adams. So by that accord, yeah, Mooney has been slightly better than Higgins. So
yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Yes, sir. And Pedro, thanks for joining us. I didn't get to say that before.
Oh yeah,
on that question.
And thanks for watching the videos.
Oh, absolutely, bro. And E111. I'll check it out. That's enticing to me.
Take a look at it. Good. Take a look at that.
People are fighting over it. It's got to be a good one. So yeah, thanks for the suggestion, man. Appreciate it. And thank you, Tim. Thank you, Pedro, again.
Yeah, Tim said he'll join
Hampton,
tomorrow. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, Tim, I'm real quick, Tim. I'm inclined to say Mooney over Higgins actually. Yep. But obviously if anything comes down tomorrow, let's see what the vibes are tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for joining.
Logan Hampton, Alex Collins, Jeff Wilson, Devonta Freeman, or Dontrell Hilliard. Devonta Freeman, I think.
Yeah, Freeman. He's a safe RB2 from here on out. This looks like his backfield in Baltimore. Looks like his backfield. Latavius Murray's been back healthy for a couple weeks now. Hasn't done squat. Freeman.
Brendan Jolly, what's going on? Julio Jones or Dontrell Hilliard?
Hilliard.
I think I'd go Hilliard.
Hilliard against Jacksonville. I'm totally off. I'm totally off Julio, man. I'm just totally off Julio. He's a red flag injury risk at this point. The same role that made him a Hall of Fame receiver is not there anymore. The volume is not likely to be there. I expect Tennessee to get up on Tennessee early, I expect Tennessee to get up on Jacksonville, maybe not early, but I think this game is in hand for them before the fourth quarter. And I think they're going to be running Jacksonville into the ground. Hilliard.
Yep. And I'm doing a research on a question. Give me a sec.
Was that the Derrick Henry question?
No.
Oh. Well, Pedro had a question about, do we think Derrick Henry comes back for the fantasy playoffs? No, we can't bank on that. It's just, we're talking about, was it a Lisfranc or a Jones fracture? It's a bad foot injury.
Jones fracture.
It's a bad foot injury. NFL playoffs, like, sure, maybe. Fantasy playoffs, we cannot be relying on.
The only situation in which you should have Derrick Henry on a team is if you have a free IR spot and you have nobody else in there that's going to be coming back.
Nobody else in there. Yeah.
Because then there's the 1%. We've been over this before. The 1% of the 1% of the 1% chance that Derrick Henry, being the freak that he is, can come back. Maybe, but I'm not expecting it. I'm not even really hoping for it at this point. It would just, the outliers
just want him
happen,
to be healthy.
Crazy things happen, right? So yeah, I don't think Derrick Henry comes back. I don't think we see Derrick Henry. I think the Tennessee Titans would be pretty stupid to rush their franchise running back. We can only say that about a few teams. Franchise running back, their franchise player back from injury at 27 or 28. How old is he?
He's 28.
28. So yeah, there's no reason for them to rush him back for a regular season game when they should be in the playoffs. The real playoffs, the NFL playoffs.
Right.
Tim Shields, Bass. Just keep running with
Bass or Phillies. I think Bass. He's so rock solid. He's a top 5 option at kicker any given week. You don't have to play him this week. I know that the Bucks don't have like great matchups by the numbers, I don't think, like as far as their offense, but that's an offense that's matchup proof with Brady. Week 15 against Carolina, or week 16 and 17 is New England. That New England is tough. New England on the road is definitely tough. But if there's fewer weather concerns, there might be scoring opportunities available for Bass. And then week 17 against Atlanta, absolutely. Maybe keep both. It sounds like you're stashing some kickers and defenses for the playoffs, which I personally don't hate one bit.
No, it's a smart
Shrink
move.
your bench.
Smart move.
Shrink your bench. But Jake Elliott week 16 might be viable depending on who did I get week 16? Is that a Washington game? It is. No, they're playing the Giants at home. Elliott maybe week 16. Tim, just keep them both.
Washington football team and the Giants.
Just keep them both because Elliott might be viable week 16, but then Bass week 17. Just keep them both.
Yeah.
Richie, just keep them both.
Just play Mike Williams.
Currently have Mike Williams on IR, and I picked up Khalil Herbert because of Monty. So drop Herbert.
Play Mike Williams.
Yeah, just drop Herbert. It sounds like Montgomery's going to be fine.
I mean, Mike Williams is in a prime spot to be a wide receiver 1 this week, if not a high-end wide receiver 2.
Well, they play at the same time, too, so you'll know for sure if one is in or out.
Herbert,
but Mike Williams feels like a safer bet.
Herbert is a good person to hold just because he is the handcuff to a huge workload if you have the spot, to Nick's point. But to start this week, to get a win this week,
need Mike Williams.
Drop Herbert, play Mike Williams.
Need Mike Williams.
Yep.
If you're trying to get a bye week, Mike Williams is the play.
And you have Monty, so that's a handcuff that you should be trying to hold on to.
Actually, is there like a wide receiver?
Put your bench in the chat.
Or is there a wide receiver 4 or 5 or like a wide receiver 5-ish that you could drop for Khalil Herbert to hold Khalil Herbert? Yeah, but we're finding a way to get Mike Williams in your starting lineup.
But you do want to see if you can hold on to that handcuff. And Tim, thank you if you can. That'd be great. Appreciate it as always. Yeah. Tim Jolly, Julio Jones, or Dontrell Hilliard? Dontrell Hilliard. I think we got to that one already.
Yeah, that was Brendan. He asked that question already.
Tim Shields. The only problem is Justin Fields is coming back, so I don't know how much that affects Mooney in the games where Mooney played with
Fields.
Justin Fields, wide receiver 28 over the first 11 games.
But that was okay. You're talking about like a stretch of games where the Bears were like an absolute disaster.
Yeah, they
like,
were
they kind of
Justin
they
Fields was
fixed
figuring
themselves
things
a little
out.
bit since
Right,
then.
Right.
They fixed themselves a little bit since then.
So I'd expect that. I mean, wide receiver 28. That's his absolute floor.
Mooney had a 16 target game with Justin Fields didn't finish that game, but he started it. Yeah, I feel okay. I feel okay about.
I feel okay with
Mooney had a big game against the Steelers with Justin Fields playing. He'll be fine.
Mooney is Justin Fields' favorite target, and it's not close.
Yeah.
So you can feel confident playing Mooney. Yeah, and you need to secure a win, Richie. Then
let's get Mike. Let's find a way to keep Khalil Herbert, especially since you have first place locked up. So Khalil Herbert makes sense to hang on to as the Montgomery owner.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get Mike Williams into your lineup.
Yeah.
And E1 wants
that's
support.
The priority.
Appreciate the support, man.
Absolutely, E11 as always. You already know, man.
Brendan, do we think Mixon will play? We're coming up to the end of our chat here, so we will be wrapping up here shortly. But
I do think Mixon will play.
Appreciate the comment, or appreciate the involvement. Yes.
To that
Mixon
point, if you want to
play.
join us, 10 a.m. tomorrow EST, we'll be going, if not right up to 1 p.m. Into
as
the
close as we
12,
need to.
Into the 12 range, into the
as
noon
close
range.
as we need.
So we'll be able to help you.
We
out
understand your playoff spots are on the
then.
line.
We'll be able to help you out with a little bit more accuracy then as to whether or not Joe Mixon will play. We might hear while we're live, but we'll also be able to help you with any other start sit or ads or any other questions you have up before kickoff. So let us
Here's
know.
the thing with the 425 kickoff with Mixon, just have a guy who's playing in that same time slot ready to go just in case, because he did not practice all this week. So just have a backup plan ready.
Yeah, if Samaje Perine is available.
Sure.
And now this is the time to be handcuffing. This is
the time where you're like a wide receiver 5 or 6 or even a wide receiver 4 who's just not going to play for you. Like the time has come to let's get those handcuffs.
And Greg Z123. Thanks to you.
Yeah.
Just to confirm earlier in the PPR flex, you take Gage over Judy.
Did we miss this? No, I would take Judy over Gage.
No, we didn't miss. We hit that one, but we would go.
We said
Judy.
Yeah. Sorry, Greg. So if there was, I don't know if we missed that or whatever.
It might have been a quick one when we were rushing through stuff, but
sorry Judy's enough of a tier break over these guys. Is from a talent level, and the matchup is there's nothing scary playing the Lions at home. Give me Judy.
And hey, thank you, Tim. And Richie, put that bench in the chat so we can get to it. But we are right at the end there. Cool Kev, what's going on? Denzel Mims worth a pickup.
No.
If you're gonna pick up anybody from that offense, if somebody's already picked up,
Keelan Cole is the pick. If Jamison Crowder's gone, then Keelan Cole. Of this, like Denzel Mims has 15 targets on the year, for the season. Like I'd rather pick up Braxton Berrios if I had to pick one. That's my point. Keelan Cole I think is a better grab if Jamison Crowder is not available. And
Tim, should I pick up Hasty and drop Julio? Sure.
I
don't see anything wrong with
I got no problem. I got no problem with that. He might only be viable for just this week, but concussions are tricky when it comes as far as Elijah Mitchell. Plus, he had a knee injury. Concussions are tricky. Trey Sermon's on IR. Honestly, wouldn't surprise me if his season was just flat out over. So it's just Jeff Wilson and JaMychal Hasty. So yes, Hasty is absolutely worth a roster spot right now.
And Pedro, Amir Abdullah or the Detroit guys, Godwin Igwebuike or Jamar Jefferson.
Amir because of the matchup. They're all in the
same group, but Amir is
playing the Falcons.
I like people that I like backs that are PPR backs. If they're all basically in the same tier, I like picking the guy with the most receiving upside. And Amir Abdullah, if you remember, he was a pretty high draft pick at one point. So he has the athleticism. He has the pedigree. At one point a long time ago, he was a higher pickup. I mean, he was supposed to be the Detroit Lions running back of the future. Like 5-6 years ago. So Amir Abdullah.
Yeah, better matchup against the Falcons.
Yep. Brendan Jolly, do you
Hilliard
think
or
that
Foreman.
Hilliard or Fonta would be Devonta Foreman would be a better play? Than Samaje Perine or than Mixon or just
No,
of
probably
those two?
between the two of them. You like it. You prefer Hilliard to Foreman,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're both viable, but Hilliard was more efficient 2 weeks ago. Does he come back to the mean a little bit, and therefore Foreman is the guy? Like maybe, but Foreman. I mean, I think they both are going to get. I think they both have a chance at some decent volume this week. If we are to
and
go
Dontrell
off of
Hilliard
week 12,
fumbled last
Hilliard
week,
might
but so
have a
did
bigger
Donta Foreman.
play in it.
Dontrell Hilliard fumbled last week, but so did Donta Foreman. So neither get a
Both
or
fumbled,
the week
so that's a
before,
wash.
Week before last week when they last played. So yeah, it's a wash. Donta Foreman broke 100-yard plane, but Dontrell Hilliard did the more with less, and also caught passes than each other. All right. So yeah, I'm going Dontrell Hilliard over Foreman, but Foreman isn't a bad play. He
No, they're
find his
close.
way
I
into
think
getting
they're
100
close
yards on the
but,
ground again. But I'd rather go with Hilliard.
Slight edge to Hilliard.
Yep. And yo, Richie, where that bench at, bro?
Maybe he doesn't feel like sharing it, but we are at the end of the chat, so we are going to be wrapping this up because we will be back live with you guys in like almost 12 hours anyway.
Yes.
Thanks to everybody who joined. Thanks to the 13, 14, 15 of you who are still with us. Appreciate the views. Appreciate the comments.
Shout out to Johnny Kosh. Shout out for the
everybody.
supers. Shout out to Lawrence Franklin for the super. Shout out to
everybody who provided
Brett
it.
McCoy. Shout out to
appreciated.
the new subs. We got Vanessa Mays in here. Appreciate you if you're still in here. Thank you for subbing.
Appreciate
who
the
else
support,
here?
everybody.
JL Bribiesca, what's going on? Thank you for
Can you not pronounce the
us?
names?
No, I can't. You
Well,
couldn't
then,
either.
Well, I'm not the one that's
Shut up.
trying.
I'm just shouting out the people that supporting us today. So
that is very kind. That is very nice. But we are done for tonight. We will be back 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow with more start sit help, probably with a few more updates as far as player status. So hopefully that helps figure things out for you guys, for your teams, for your rosters, as we're trying to wrap up playoff spots, maybe bye weeks, or maybe just get in all together. That is the plan. We are here to help you. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. Thank you for the comments, the questions, and the support. We will see y'all tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, y'all. See you guys in like 12 hours.
Well, 12 hours.